Welcome back to 1010's podcast with Michael and Adam and Robbie. And we have Mr. Kanga Motorsports. Wait a second. Hold on. It's on the sheet here. The Thunder from Down Under.
Jeez.
That's what I put on there. I thought it was good.
We appreciate it.
James is here this week.
Show.
The Thunder, is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's
Pretty sure
it's
that's
like the Australian Chippendales.
Yeah, like a male strip club.
What?
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a touring show.
If you're listening,
Wait a second.
stop.
How does everybody know about this but me? Like, oh, yeah, dude. It's fucking. It's
where have you
strippers.
been?
Yeah,
Male strippers.
Where
Like,
have you been?
You just come in here like it's the thing that I should
Everybody
know.
knows.
Nobody knows that.
Everybody knows.
Why do you two know that?
James, did you know?
I know because it's
See?
Thunder from Down Under before.
Everybody knows.
Nobody knows.
Are you
That's
living
how-
under a rock?
That's how
No, I
James put
just don't
himself
go
through
to male
college.
strip clubs.
No, it's not a strip club. It's like Chippendales.
No, it's a traveling show,
Yeah.
dude. They shut down the regular strip club for a night and have that instead.
You need to get up to date on your strip club stuff.
Yeah, what's
I'm
up, dude?
moving on, I think is what I'm doing. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
There's gonna be a thread on the group. That everyone's like, "Yeah, I know about it."
James is
No, I'm not gonna be like, what the hell's wrong with you people? That's what the thread's gonna be.
You're gonna be the only one that doesn't know.
I doubt it.
I'm not saying we've all been to.
I'm
it.
like
just saying
literally,
we know
I literally
of it.
know nothing about what you're talking about. Like, not even like, yeah, I heard of it. It was like not a
Nothing.
thing at all. Nothing.
You're just gonna lie to me like this.
Like, I've never heard. Like, I thought it was like a
No.
professional wrestler.
They might be, but that's not what we're
it's
talking.
probably that too. I'm not sure if he does MMA or WWE, but it
Oh no!
Don't,
no!
don't,
Not this
don't.
again! Not this again!
You know, you don't learn. You never learn.
it's worth it though.
My favorite part, we will interview our guest at some point. It's his studio, so he's like family, so it's not like
absolutely.
he's like a fourth
It's like being at
person.
home.
Yeah. So anyway, my favorite part was the thing about Max walking into Booney's office and saying, "You're going to be really fucking pissed at Adam this week." I can see it. I can see it because I've been in there,
Yep.
and I can see
Yeah,
Max saying
absolutely.
that to Booney, and it makes me laugh.
You're gonna want to choke him.
Yep, that's what he said. You're going to want to choke him.
It's made me laugh multiple times as well. It's fine.
Me too.
So anyway, James, you drive race
Yes.
cars.
Like actually drive race cars.
Yeah.
So you just finished up Runoffs, which was, what was that, like a week and a half ago now?
Yeah.
Which was your first time doing it, right?
Yeah, that's my first time at the Runoffs, yeah.
You definitely geared up for this, quite literally. I mean, you got out all kinds of Kanga Motorsports hats and T-shirts and vinyls, and you did some vinyls for us and the whole deal. Did you, when you sent those pictures and stuff over, did you have a picture of your booth? Because I don't know if I saw your kind of setup.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I might have sent something, but yeah, I'll have something up. I think people saw pictures of Instagram over the time too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. A friend of mine made cupcakes and
The cupcakes were rad.
Yeah, stickers and giveaways from sponsors and decals for you guys and a whole bunch of other people, and then
I don't have that
pitboard
picture.
sign and hats and T-shirts. So
Does everybody do that, or is there a large portion of people that do that, or were you just kind of trying to put your best foot forward as kind of a more professional racer?
yeah, I was trying to put a good foot forward. Not everybody does that, Some guys are just there to race and they're privateers, and then there's other people that are semi-pro teams, so they have all crew shirts that are all matching and stuff, and different people do different hospitality things. But yeah, I was maybe a little more than most people, let's say.
It's worth it though. It's cool.
Yeah, I can see it.
I like it.
It's very much like James Hunt and the Hesketh team when they all came in. They're like champagne and caviar, and they're like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" Just making a scene.
Same thing.
That's you and your cupcakes.
Absolutely.
Same thing.
People love the cupcakes. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. See.
But it's all about brand stuff. I mean, like we've talked about in the past, you are very conscious of your brand and your recognition of your brand and stuff like that is good for Kanga Motorsports and helps when it comes to soliciting sponsors and partners for 2019. So I mean, I don't know. It's you invest money into that, hoping that people are going to in turn invest money into your program, and that becomes a name that people recognize.
Yeah, that's part of it, and other part of it, it's just a lot of fun for friends and fans coming by. So there was a couple guys that listened to the podcast that came by to see me, grab some decals and some stickers of you guys, and then grab some of mine as well, And so we met through the podcast, and it was just a good way to meet people and then talk about the cars, and overall try and get more people interested into going racing. The more people there are to race, the more fun it is, in my opinion. So
it's such a weird thought that us three idiots managed to like bring people together halfway across the country in such a way.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I like how
it's very cool. Yeah, very cool. So
I was gonna say, like, just your car looks more professional than the rest of the cars because you have all these like big decals and like sponsorships, and everyone's got like little stickers and numbers, and then there's your car covered in sponsors. I don't know, it's just something I noticed right off the bat. Like when you look at all the pictures, like that car's number 101 with 2 stickers. Well, there's James 82 with like 100 stickers.
James, you and I had talked about, we think your car photographs better, like it's easier to photograph, which is really important, and maybe one of the reasons that you landed that SCCA cover, and you've had good reach as far as people taking pictures of your car and then sharing them.
Yeah, a couple of photographers mentioned to me that the car, just the way it looks and the contrast it has, it tends to pop really well in the photos versus just like a plain white car or a plain red car or whatever it is with the colors and the elements. It seems to either focus better or just capture better. So I'm not sure that I was a genius and made that happen. I think it was just luck more than anything, but it tends to work out quite well.
So run us through the whole week or weekend, or run us through your portion of racing and runoffs and what your experience was like for someone that's doing it for the first time.
Yeah, it's very different than a normal race weekend. Like a normal race weekend, you have maybe a test day beforehand, a practice, a qualifying, a race, and maybe another qualifying, a race. This week is like a full week. You can do test days beforehand. There's like 3 test days beforehand. And then each day there's a qualifying session, and you only have like one 20-minute qualifying session each day leading up to the event. And then you have one single 40-minute race, and that's it. So you're there for a whole week, and you have less track time than you normally have in a weekend. But it's amazing, like doing one session a day and then having to wait to try and improve that next session that next day is really unusual for me, because normally, I look at my data or I get off the lap and say, hey, I didn't do this corner right, and then I can go and do it. But now I have to wait like 24 hours before I can do that again. So it's kind of crazy.
What does that change for you as far as car setup? Because obviously you could mess with the car too much, or you could make a change to the car that's not applicable the next day because you have, it's a different temperature or it's a different weather condition or whatever. How do you manage that? Because you could really sit there and screw with stuff and make the car worse because you have so much time on your hands.
Yeah, it's tough. Like the 3-day test days beforehand, I really played with different setups and tried to see if different things were going to improve the car or make it worse, and try and get a sense for tire pressures, because the weather was slightly different on those 3 days and the temperatures was a little bit different. But the good thing was all of our qualifying sessions were at the same time of day. And then for the race, it was the same time of day as well. So at least in terms of like changing, sun heat on the track, it was pretty consistent. But still, you make a change and think you're going to get something right, and then the next day it's worse, Or you make a change hoping to gain more front grip, but you find you have less front grip that session and you're not sure why. And some of it is, that track, there's a lot of wind-blown dirt that comes across, and also people kick up dirt and push it across the track. And that track is really a low grip surface anyway. And so the car tends to slide about anyway, so you're always trying to search for grip on that track. And it's a really tough track to set up for because there's not like one corner that's all important, and it's kind of like a rhythm track. So you improve the car in one section, but it makes it worse in another section. It's really kind of a tough track in terms of setup wise. So, and I'm not the best at setup, so I just try to do what I thought was right. So.
And this is Sonoma for those that aren't well versed in SCCA runoffs. So and that makes a difference too, because I would imagine Sonoma's probably got more consistent weather than like Iowa, for instance.
Yeah, we were lucky that there was consistent weather that week. Although in the mornings there was inconsistent weather. So one day it'd be really foggy and like damp, and then the next morning it would be purely sunny. So the morning people had a really tough time. But we were just after lunch, so it was pretty much the same weather after lunch every day.
So is that just good planning on the SCCA's behalf for that timing, or is that just a happy coincidence for you? Did they do that from class to class?
They do that intentionally from as much as they can.
I kind of wondered.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, good planning by SCCA. There is a lot of planning that obviously goes into the event. There's a lot of setup that needs to be done, where all the different stations are and how the different crews are all working together. There's a lot that goes into those events behind the scenes. So
yeah, especially one of that size where you have a lot of different series and classes of racing that are happening, have to coincide with one another over the course of a week. So you obviously, everybody should probably know who you are by now, but you race in Spec Racer Ford. We've talked to you earlier this year about some of the upgrades you've made to the car. You've kind of had some challenges and some victories throughout the year, but what did your race week look like for you? I know there were a couple times that you were fighting for position in the pack, just because you'd had some mishaps, but kind of run us through what that week looked like for you.
Yeah, it wasn't the best start to the week. So I had to do a work trip leading up to the week, and it happened to coincide with the hurricane, and it was on the East Coast, so I got stuck in airports a couple of days. So I didn't get a lot of sleep coming back. And then the first day out, the second session, I lost fourth gear in my transmission and basically had to pull the motor and transmission and swap it over in overnight and then be ready to go the next day, which was the Sunday. And so I had very little sleep leading up to that, and I had even less sleep due to the transmission. After that, it would tend to be a little bit smoother. I just needed to focus on my driving and stuff. And so I got faster throughout the time, but so did everybody else. I was amazed. My times were much faster than the race back in summer, in June, July timeframe, which was at the same track with a lot of the same drivers. But it seemed like everybody just stepped up their game a whole nother level and got faster at the same time. And so, I gained a second or more on my fastest time, but I still was not up towards the front of the pack. So it was kind of tough. I feel like I gained a lot and went faster, but I so did everybody else. So
what was your best qualifying position?
So I got 25th in qualifying was the best I could do.
Okay.
So
it's a real competitive pack.
So. Yeah, so towards the back of the middle pack sort of thing. So,
but are these the same people that you run with normally, though?
Some of them are. So there's a whole contingent that came over from the East Coast.
Okay.
And then there a lot of the West Coast guys. So the guys from Oregon up north, and then SoCal. Down near LA and stuff like that. They all came up to race this event. And then quite a few people from our region was there. So I knew a lot of the racers either through local events that they'd raced at here or Instagram, Twitter, or I've seen them race before on the East Coast kind of thing through their YouTube and stuff like that. So, but the guys that came from the East Coast are real fast guys. It was trying to keep up. There's like packs in the group. There's a group of cars that are all at one pace, and then there's another group of cars that are another pace. And there's a group of cars a couple seconds ahead, a second ahead, and then where I am kind of thing. So it was interesting. So
Yeah, I was going to say the guys that are going to travel that far are not going to be slow. So
Yeah, some of
unfortunately,
them
the competition's stacked against you from that perspective.
yeah, I just got work to do. I got to get faster on these things. So, but working towards that, and I think I made a lot of improvements going into it. So
what are your takeaways from runoffs as far as what you want to change in your driving or in your car setup to be able to move towards the front of the pack?
Yeah, that's a good question. So car setup wise, I think I have a better feel for what the car setup changes I need to do. Like I've been working on that for the past, I don't know, few races, and I have an understanding now of what tweaks will change the car. Whereas previously, I was just more focusing on myself as the driver, trying to make up a difference. There's some obvious things I can do on the car to go a little faster. Like there are spec wheels, but there are lighter editions of those spec wheels. Small things like that. But getting the car set up right is crucially important at tracks like this where there's a low grip surface. And then it's mostly focusing on my driving. I think a lot of it, I need to get over my self-preservation.
Sure. Yep.
I get that.
I need to
Robbie definitely
push
gets
a little bit outside of my comfort zone a little
Should go
more,
drifting
and that
every
would
once
help
in a
me.
while,
No.
apparently.
Yeah, that'll push you past your threshold.
Yeah, just go out there and slide the car around a little bit.
Yeah, sliding the car around is good, but I also tend to scrub speed at that. It's more I think the big difference that I see in my data versus the real fast guys is, mid corner speed, exit speed off corners, I'm doing great. It's the carrying the entry speed into the corner and the braking where I would gain the most time.
So some of those
I was
guys will
lucky-
actually share that with you.
Yeah, so I'm lucky enough. Some of the faster guys will share data with me. I really appreciate that from them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And so it helps me to see, hey, they're a second faster than I am, and this is where I'm losing the time. Or I'll do a couple laps, and I'll do some laps where I'm like, oh, I'm faster in these segments, but slower in these segments. And I'm like, well, if I could piece it all together, I'd have a real good lap. So,
What are you looking at for a time differential between, the fastest driver and you?
So the fastest guy did a 1:46.1 so 1 minute 46.1 for the qualifying, and my time was a 1:49.3.
Okay. So about 3 seconds.
So I'm about 3 seconds off the champion guy, so which isn't bad.
What's a guy like that have for experience, though? I mean, is he a guy that's been doing this for 30 years, and he's just that damn good, and he's got that much seat time?
Some of them, there are some fast people that have been fast from the get-go, and they get in the car and they have a natural talent. But there's a lot of people that have been in this class and racing these cars for 10, 20 years. So one of the fast guys I was talking to, he said it took him about 7 years before he was like really up there racing. So,
And how many years have you had this car?
So I think this is my fourth season, but my first season with the upgraded motor. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
so
I
I got some work to do.
Yeah, you're kind of playing. You're playing on a more level playing field with everybody this year for the first time.
Yes, yeah, the fast guys for sure.
So when you talk about improvements that you want to make to the car as far as car setup goes, what's something recently that you've discovered that's really helped improve how you set up the car for the track? Because like you said, I mean, that's kind of it's kind of an aha moment when you figure out, like, oh, if I change this, like I get more grip here, or I eliminate this understeer or whatever it is. But as you go through this process of trying to learn about setting up your car, what's been some really cool things that you've learned?
So the biggest thing I learned, and this came a little bit before, but mostly when I was I had that day with Ross Bentley, was Ross sent me out in the first session to set, and his instructions were do like 5 or 6 laps, and I want you to be able to write down what the car did in all of the corners entry, mid, corner, and exit, and tell me what the car is doing. So I just had to focus on feeling what the car was doing. And then from there, I knew, like, is the car going to slide off? If I go faster, is the front of the car going to slide off first, or is the back of the car going to slide off first? And then if I know that, then I know which end I either need to give more grip to or which end I need to make the change on. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you looking at like sway bars, spring stiffness? What are you changing? Damper rates?
Yeah. So our cars, the spring rates and the are fixed. So we
Okay.
can't change spring rate, but we can change rebound setting, sway bar settings, and then caster, camber, toe,
Okay.
etc.
Yep.
And so one of the biggest changes that I did that made a huge difference was, and it was surprising, was front toe. So I went from 1 millimeter front toe out either side to 2 millimeters front toe out either side. And it made a huge difference, like more than I could imagine difference to
In what?
being able to put the car where I wanted it to be and being
Okay.
able to turn in as I wanted to.
Huh.
So Sonoma has a couple of turns and a couple of sections of the tracks where you're doing left, rights. And so
yeah, sure.
that transition from, loading the car up on the left and loading it up on the right and doing that transition, it made a huge difference in that. And then the ability to be able to point the car where I wanted to and then keep the throttle down. And at the speeds that you're doing those sections at, it makes a huge difference in lap time. Like I could make up half to 1 second a lap.
Yeah, that's significant. That's huge.
Yeah. And so I think that was when the light bulb went off in my head and said, oh, wow, it's not just about my driving. I need to also work on setting up the car.
That's an interesting point to reach, though, because when you're first starting out, it's all about, like, there's a certain level of proficiency that I have to have as a driver to be able to just, compete or just to be here, just to race. And then you reach that point, and it's not that you stop learning or progressing, but you need to take a step back and say, oh, I need to make a change to the car to make the car a better tool for being fast. And that's kind of a weird thing. And that was my experience at the last drift day. It was like, oh, like the problem right now is the car. Like I've got a lot to learn still, but I'm at a point where the problem is the car. There's not enough grip in the car, and so it's not doing what I want it to do. I know it can do this. It's just not doing it right now, so I have to make a change. And that's a weird threshold to work past.
Yeah, and I think I just in the end of this season have started to reach that threshold where I can feel the difference in the tires. I can feel the difference in what the car does. So,
How many races do you think you've done in this car total, either engine?
oh, that's a good question.
You doing 10 a year? You doing less than 10?
Done more than 10 a year.
More than 10?
So,
Okay.
Damn.
So 30, 40
well,
races?
Yeah, I think easily 30, 40 races. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of seat time.
Yeah.
That's not
It
insignificant.
is. Yeah. So, yeah, because we do 2 races a weekend normally, and I do 6 to 8 weekends a year, depending on season.
Yeah.
So, just to give you a rough idea. But, I mean, this year I did way more, of course, with the leading up to the runoffs and test days. So,
I like how you just slid that name drop in there. Ross Bentley.
Yeah,
like it's no big deal.
My
My coach Ross Bentley.
Yeah, no big deal.
My coach Ross Bentley said
Yeah, I had a test day with him. It wasn't like a thing or anything. It was just,
nobody needs to worry about it.
Yeah.
it was pretty awesome. I won't lie.
Did you fanboy a little bit?
I was a little aware of my fanboyism, so but once you start talking to Ross and you meet him, he's so personable that he just treats you like a friend or someone you've always known kind of thing. So
That really came through when we talked to him
Definitely.
a while back. He's a very, very easy person to talk to.
Yeah. When I listen to this podcast, like the way he talks with everybody, it's like he talked to us that way, he talks to everybody that way. It's just that's how he is.
Yeah, he's cool.
Which is great. And then
he's fantastic.
when you wrote your article about your coaching session with him, like I was reading it going when he asking you like what to do, like tell me what the car's doing in every corner. I'm getting nervous going, I can't answer this.
I don't know.
How would I?
Every corner. There's 12 of them.
How would I answer
Come
this?
on.
How do I even begin to tell you? Like, so for me, like just reading through that, I was like, man, there's so much I could learn. Like just right off the bat, just even reading your article, like what he asked, the questions he asked you are questions that you need to be asking yourself. And like, just, I'm not even to that point where I'm even asking myself those questions, right?
Yeah.
Where's that article, James?
It's on Kanga Motorsports.
It's on, okay. It's on your website. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
People should go there and read that.
It's a great,
Sometimes that's
great article.
That stuff is like, it should be right in your face, but until somebody's like, "Hey, what's this doing?" You're like,
Wake up. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a clue. I wasn't
I don't
even
know.
thinking about that. Sometimes it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm trying not to run into the wall. It's like, well, think a little bit while you're not running into the wall, and then it comes together and it makes sense. But
Yeah.
that's exciting. That's why it continues to not be boring, even though you go to Gingerman 8 times a year or whatever,
Right.
and you're out there, you're trying to set the fastest lap or whatever. That's where the excitement comes from, because you just continue to learn and dive deeper and make changes and become a better driver. That's a cool part of the experience. Inside a test day with Ross Bentley.
Yep.
I think due to the unique way that Facebook sucks, its algorithm buried this, because I have not seen this.
I saw you post about it, and then I went and made sure to go back and read it, like every word of it, before I went
Maybe
to
twice.
I read it at least once all the way through, and then I've skimmed it more than once before events.
So I know at least one person read it. So
It was me.
I can prove it. Look at my website.
yeah,
analytics.
there's a big difference too. Like when Ross Bentley tells you to tell him after what the car is doing versus like I have to tell myself after what the car is doing. It's kind of like I felt like I had to fill out a report card. Back in school for Ross to say this is what it's doing.
Did he
And
grade
so-
you at the end?
So he did provide me feedback after the event too. But the cool thing was he asked me what I thought first before he provides his feedback, which was good.
So when he does a test day with you, are you the only person there? Who else is he
No,
working with during the day?
We shared, yeah. So that we co-shared. There's another driver, Ollie, who does I think he's in GT2 Corvette. He also runs a spec Corvette sometimes down south.
Okay.
So we shared him so we went out in the same session so Ross could watch both of us in the same session, and then we do the debrief in the other session. So while the other cars are out on track, we do a debrief.
Okay.
So Ross would debrief Ollie first, and then he would debrief me, and then throughout the day kind of thing.
Was he looking at your Apex data? Does that mean anything to him?
We were using my AIM solo data at that time.
Okay.
I had my Apex with me, but we were pulling stuff up on my solo just because I could pull it up on my laptop and we could see better.
Bigger screen and whatnot.
Gotcha.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
can work with anything. I was just curious what he uses to coach you, other than just his visual
'cause
feedback.
So he uses. He doesn't use Track Attack. That uses basically anything.
Yeah, he can do, Motec, whatever you want him to do. And that was the good thing. He also, he had asked for some of my data beforehand and some video before we even got to the track, so he knew things to work on. So he had a plan before we even started for the day. But he changed it as the day progressed. So
It's like he's done it before.
I know. It's
Yeah.
like he's some sort of
Yeah.
professional.
yeah.
At least somebody is.
That's cool though. I appreciate his approach to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way he asks questions and what he asks too is the biggest benefit, I think. So
It's amazing to me that he's like the guy. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of other guys, but like
He's the one
name,
that people
name
know.
me 3 coaches. Ross Bentley.
Roger Krause.
Okay, fair enough. I think I've heard that name, but I wouldn't have been able to pull it out.
No.
And then,
Nothing.
yes,
Bob
Well, I mean,
Bondurant.
Yeah.
that's okay. Fine, 3.
Skip.
Skip
Skip
Barber.
Barber.
Bob Bondurant. Yeah,
Wait,
I
who's
mean,
the Scottish
there's a
guy?
lot
Who's
of-
the Scottish F1 guy?
Not a clue.
Shit. Jackie Stewart.
Thanks to it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He does,
He does.
do
He
it
does
at school,
coaching.
doesn't
He does coaching.
Yeah, there
yeah.
you go.
I'm sure that's cheap. Let me call Jackie Stewart and see if he'll do a little coaching.
just call-
Sir
Jackie
Just
Stewart.
call Jackie up real quick. It's no big deal.
So I just find it amazing this niche that he's carved out for himself, and it's like all his. I just can't believe there's nobody else that's.
There's a lot of other
level.
coaches out there and stuff. It's just, I think to his level and to what he does, both. I mean, his business is fantastic. You know, he talks to club races all the way up to pros. You know, and so I think he's just tailored his business model to suit, and so people are aware of him and know him. I think mostly from the books, but also now from the social media stuff he does too. So.
Yeah, I think he does a lot better job of that than anybody else. That's why you know him.
But I mean, you know, to be fair, there are better marketers out there than Ross Bentley too. So you know,
Sure.
that I don't know. I just find it amazing that nobody else has really tried to go after that. I mean, I know you need the right guy with the right set of skills, but I mean, he's that guy, and it's cool. It's super cool to see somebody be there, but.
Yeah.
A lot of respect for Ross, no doubt. So, James, when you look at everything that's happened this year, your coaching sessions with Ross Bentley, what is your plan for 2019?
That's a good question. So I'm probably going to do less events than I did this year, just from a budgetary standpoint. I spent quite a significant chunk of change this year doing the upgrade on the car and then doing the runoffs. It's not a cheap event.
Didn't you get married this year and stuff too?
I got married last year, so my anniversary is actually coming up this weekend.
Okay,
so,
I was going to say, this is a real expensive year for you then, wasn't it? But
James hates money.
Yeah. I love money. Send it my way. I'll buy tires. You know, I'll keep selling those hats and T-shirts till I can get a set of tires.
there you go.
How can people get those hats and T-shirts for our listeners?
They can DM me through all my social or send me an email and I'll send them out. I just sent out a set to the UK Monday.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Cool.
yeah. So I appreciate everybody who buys, and I really love the support. It was fantastic to see, like, driving out on track, and there's all these people wearing Kanga T-shirts and hats. So
Everybody needs one or two.
I have a special one.
yeah.
That's
You got
right, yours
Here's the
custom
limited
beefy tee.
edition beefy tee.
Yeah, buddy. James is
Yeah.
the
So the way
greatest.
to Adam's heart is a beefy tee. If
It's
anyone's
true.
listening,
Absolutely.
You're not selling
And
BPTs still,
Really
are you?
anything that has beef involved in it. Like, if
That's-
you want
that's
to
what
a
make
beefy tee.
I'm
I'll get a beefy
I'm
tee.
down for other. What, no, I'm not going to say that.
if you want to like make a
Never
meal
mind.
that has beef involved in it, that's a good way to my heart as well,
Yeah.
I'm in for that.
without getting too weird about it.
Doesn't have to be weird. Why does it have to be weird?
Someone's gonna make it weird though.
I'm good with that.
Anyway, 2019.
Yeah. So, and I think I'm going to focus a lot on my driving. I think what I learned from this year is there's a lot still I can do on my driving that I have control over, that I can focus on. Like Robbie mentioned, you know, really debriefing myself after sessions and focusing on what isn't working and asking myself the tough questions. Because it's all too easy to come in, you know, check your tire pressures, sit down, grab a drink, you know, check the car over, and then, you know, think about, hey, what do I need to do? I just need to brake harder. You know, that doesn't really help. No,
Just drive faster.
Yeah.
yeah, driving faster isn't good.
Just drive better.
Drive better. Yeah. Or saying, hey, I need to be faster in turn 2. Yeah, but what do you need to do to be faster in turn 2?
Right.
That's I think that my biggest takeaway. I spent a lot of maybe early on thinking, hey, I just got to be faster here. But it's like, okay, but how am I going to be faster there? Am I going to move my brake zone? Am I going to get to the throttle earlier? Mm-hmm. Am I going to brake less or move more, you know, carry more speed in?
So, can you take that car to like an open lapping day and just like put in laps and try and sort some of that stuff out? Or are you pretty like, is that car allowed to be at a majority? Because I know some of them don't like formula cars and stuff like that. Does that fall into that category?
No, yeah, I've run several open lapping days, so this car is actually okay to do that.
Okay.
A lot of the formula cars, the insurance doesn't cover the providers.
Yeah, and I didn't know if this car fell under that category or not.
No, it is because the wheels are covered by the fiberglass, and
Okay.
that's normally the differentiator for insurance purposes.
Yeah, making contact with open wheels has a funny way of doing real bad things to cars.
Gets out of hand real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So that's it. Less lapping or less days, and working on car setup, working on being critical about what you need to do to be a faster driver. Is there any additional events or anything different as far as the calendar goes that you're going to try to tackle next year?
it all depends on how my budget rolls out for next year. I would always love to do events. I've talked to you and Adam Jabay about maybe coming over, doing a grid life or whatever. I'd love to do one of those. It's just such a long way to go.
You're going to do spec Lutz?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got to get me a spec Lutz.
That should fit in your
Although
budget.
I saw some cheater announcements on the group, so I'm not sure if I need to get
don't
into
know.
spec Lutz.
It's turning into an ordeal. I don't know what we're going to do with it yet.
Someone's got to buy
There's
the
already-
first car and make.
already-
Then we have to commit to it.
Mike is doing way too much math.
Well, but I think Mike's right, though. That's the problem.
He is right.
I try
I
not to
think
read it
that-
because he's got like all
I
this
think that
stuff.
the Alero, the N body, is not the answer because there's no aftermarket support for it. And I think that he's right about the Saturn,
Yeah.
which also falls in that era, can still be absolutely a Lutzmobile, if you will.
He's
And has the
it's
aftermarket
up for the
support.
people to decide.
Yeah, I didn't think about the Saturn until he posted. I was like, oh,
I've thought about the Saturn.
that's a good one
I've thought about the Saturn.
because those all came in manuals. It seems.
And they were successful cars in their day, like in autocross and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
They can be made to handle quite well.
I'm in.
Aren't they plastic? So at least the outside of it won't be rusty.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still metal in there somewhere.
Probably.
It's not like they have like a carbon fiber monocoque.
I got to
or
weld
anything.
I got to do that welding thing to Robbie's car that we talked about.
JB weld.
Just weld it back
whatever,
together.
it's fine.
No, I'll just weld it back together at the track.
Yikes.
What are you, a safety steward? Don't worry about it.
You just got to get it past Jabay.
Just don't tell him it's there. They don't look.
That's
he's
what
not,
I'm
He's
saying.
not going to look that hard.
Just be like, hey, Jabay, look, it's a drift car. Because he texts me every once in a while. He's like, you dick, you talking about drifting? And you just distract him with a drift car. And
He's got a
yeah,
Fox
he's-
body. He needs to do drift
Yeah, you
things.
could
He's
drift.
got a 240 also.
What?
The other kind.
Oh,
He has a
yeah.
240Z.
Yeah, he
I
does.
forgot about
He
that.
does.
Doesn't it have a
Christ.
5.0 in it or something?
I think so.
Something
He's got a
silly.
he's got a
He just
V8
needs to
swap
finish
something.
He just needs to finish it. That's the car. Just do it.
James, do you ever drive
Yeah.
your 240?
I do. I don't really take it to the track anymore.
Right,
and
right.
No, I can see why not.
Actually, next year, that's what 2019, I really need to finish this motor of mine. I've been meaning to do this motor. I got partway through it and I never finished it. That's what I really need to do in 2019.
Well, it's not like you've been
So-
busy or anything.
Yeah. I just sit down every night, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I'll be that guy. You should put an RB in there.
I love those little cars, though.
Yeah, they're super awesome.
That's why that one with an RB would be sick. It would probably be terrifying, but it would be great.
Yeah.
When the boost
Yeah,
comes on.
I can scare myself enough with the spec racer right now. I need to get over that, aversion to danger thing to make myself go faster. So
It's part of the process.
Yeah, just constantly make yourself uncomfortable. Then you'll finally feel comfortable there.
yep, that's the key, right? I mean, if you're comfortable being uncomfortable, then you can just do it all the time. So
I got to work on that.
We probably all
just,
do.
just in
Except
general.
Michael,
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know what happens. Like I said that time when I was like tailgating Zach and I had to stop myself.
It's just wired
Just took-
differently. It's
I know
it's
I
fine.
didn't do it. It's not on purpose. It just happened. Like that time when I drove Don's Z and I had it sideways at Marshalltown.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I'm just gonna take it easy, and then I start start chasing people.
I think it's because Moneybags can just pay to have it fixed.
That's the thing is that I'm always thinking about what it's going to cost.
You
if I
wrote
make a
this off.
mistake.
Maybe the difference is I race cheap cars, so if I ride off a cheap car, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
you don't overbuild your car.
Right.
He doesn't have 15 years of his life sunk into it either.
Smart, very smart.
That's why when the motor blew up in the RX-7, I was mad about it for like 30 minutes, and then I got over it.
I get that.
because I realized what it was going to cost to fix it. I was more annoyed that I had to take the motor out. That was my main annoyance, was that the motor had to come out of the car again.
That is annoying.
I just, for some reason, I don't like bleeding coolant systems. It makes me angry.
Nobody likes bleeding coolant.
If somebody was like,
Fact.
what's your least favorite thing about building cars, it would be coolant systems. I really don't know why.
I don't know. I've never really had that issue.
Mine are brakes. For sure brakes. Hate brake systems.
Really?
Yes.
Brakes aren't too bad.
Brakes suck.
I couldn't get my clutch.
Clutch sucks.
But that's because
I'll
I was
give you
doing it
clutch.
I was doing it by myself.
Weirdo.
It took way longer than it should have because I didn't have anybody to help me.
He says
you
that
didn't
like,
ask.
yeah, exactly. I didn't have anybody to help me. Like,
No one's gonna
he-
drive all
like
the way
he
out to my
tried to
place
get help and then no one showed.
Everybody was like, no, that didn't happen at all.
Sorry, bro. Do it on your own.
That's not what happened.
Oh, Saturday?
though.
Yeah, I was sitting on my ass at home. Thanks for the phone call.
I did it on like a Tuesday. Oh, shit.
Welcome to Robbie.
Yeah,
He's a hermit.
I am. Especially now.
It's fine.
It's cold out and just don't do anything.
It's not even that cold yet, Robbie.
It's cold.
It's nice outside, dude.
James would be cold.
James would
well, yeah,
be
but
cold.
James lives in
I'm cold.
California. He's
Yeah,
from
I'm
Australia.
Australian. It's cold at night.
That doesn't
See,
count.
it's cold.
Yeah.
James gets it.
Have you ever?
Have you seen snow?
Yeah, like legitimately, have you seen snow?
Yeah, so I lived in Germany for a couple years,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I would make my roommates barbecue in the snow because it would be fun.
I barbecue in the snow. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's
dude.
great.
Yeah,
It's not
fun.
great, but it's better than the alternative, which is not barbecue.
That's
Exactly.
Fair. That's fair.
That was my point.
There's a lot of, I'll jump over a lot of hurdles for barbecue. Or grilling, I guess
Yeah.
we call it.
yeah.
Not strictly barbecue.
Shrimp on the Barbie.
I'm sure James appreciates that.
He had to go there. He had to go there.
You drinking a Foster's too, James?
No, it's very difficult to find.
They don't even drink it in Australia, do they? Not really.
No, yeah, you really can't find it in Australia. You can't buy it, kind of thing.
Weird.
It's a fake Australian
Yeah.
beer. It really is.
Well,
It's a
it's like
marketing
Corona.
thing.
It's like bottled in Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, most of our Corona comes from Chicago.
It's a marketing thing. It's fine.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. Anything else, James, you can think of?
Yeah, so something that I wasn't aware of, well, I knew about, but it wasn't, I guess I didn't understand it as much as I should have. They test the fuel at the runoffs. So you can only buy the fuel that they bring in a truck. And you have to basically, pump out your fuel tank, run the fuel in a few times and pump it out just to clear out the fuel so that it will register as their type of fuel for fuel testing. And you have to pass that fuel test. And so I had I don't know, a couple gallons in my car. I had to pump that out, and then put fresh fuel in, pump it out, put fresh fuel in before I would even pass the test. And so then I have all this used fuel that I can't run at the event because it's not legal for the event. So I ended up just pouring it into my street car. So
Yeah, what else do you
It's
do with it? That's weird.
yeah, what are you gonna do with it? It's just like a 5-gallon jug of fuel. What are you gonna do with it?
Is that just 91 octane or 93 octane or?
Yeah, so we're only allowed at that event to run 91 octane.
Okay, well that's not so bad then. If you stuck
Yeah.
with 85 or race fuel, then you're kind of
Yeah.
SOL for the year.
Leaded race fuel for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
it was just surprising that and then the other thing is they do a lot more technical inspections. So for our cars, they would pull them into the pits after qualifying, and I think they were doing a third of the group one day, a third of the group the other day, and a third of the group on the third qualifying session. And they checked a whole lot. We had to take front and rear wheels off. They had to check the brake pads, the rotor thicknesses. They checked the air filter, the intake size, going in the inlet size. And then they also pulled the transmission speed gear to see that it was the correct value and checking the transmission. So
Wow.
they do a lot of inspections on our cars to make sure they're fair. So
Yeah, it's what it makes sense on that serious of a race when you're spending an entire week prepping for a 40-minute race. he kind of got a level the playing field the best he can. Not, catch anybody that's cheating or whatever.
And then at the end of the event, they pull the motors and they take apart them. They take the top 5 motors, they take them and they ship them back to take them apart for our cars. But for other cars, they were literally pulling apart the motors in the tech inspection.
Whoa.
So,
I don't know how I feel about that because some of those guys have like serious money put in those motors. I don't know how I'd
be real nervous
having my motor tore apart in any less than like a laboratory setting,
or any hands besides these two,
or the guy that built it.
Right?
Because let's be real, I bet a lot of them, those are motors built by some shop that specializes in that.
Yeah, for sure.
So. So it was interesting to see the different levels of tech inspection that occur at the event. So,
it just shows the difference in
competition,
in caliber of race.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a serious event. It is clearly a serious event for people. So there's some people there just to have fun, but it is very serious for some people. So
yeah,
fair enough. All right, James, I think we'll let you go. We're gonna keep chatting. We'll I'll touch base with you either tonight or tomorrow. But we always appreciate you coming on.
Happy to. Thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it. I just thanks for all your support this year. It's been great. Thanks to all the people that have messaged and came by and wished me well at the racing too. It's been fantastic to get all these messages and catch up with different people. So really appreciate it.
Thanks for your support. It's always fun seeing our logo in giant letters across the front of your car.
We appreciate that.
I get a big kick out of it.
You're welcome. I made it a little bit bigger for this event. So.
Yeah,
perfect. Love it.
I still think Josh has the biggest one though that I've.
Does he?
I think
Josh Fettis.
Josh Fettis has James made it, so James would know.
It's bigger though.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's big.
It's on the back of his.
It's going on the back of his
on the
RV.
On the RV. Yeah.
It's going on the back of his camper.
Perfect.
Which I'm not mad about.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, James.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Shall we move on?
James is so professional.
He really is all the time.
Like too professional for us.
No,
really.
No one's too okay. Everyone's too professional for us.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at our list here. So.
You guys want to open it up?
Well, we're not technically opening it. I've got an opener I can do, but it's not going to make people very happy.
Be the opener.
I thought we were talking about the.
Yeah, I just figured that'd be my opener.
You're going to call that the opener?
Yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
so the opener for this week, presented by Factor Fabrication, is going to be Adam's Cruise.
Yeah. Where I only got us lost once. And I didn't really get lost, I just missed a corner.
Like literally as soon as we started. Took a right.
It was literally 5 to 10 minutes into the run, and here's a picture of us sitting on the end of a county highway.
I'm going to stick with, I had planned it so that it gave us a chance to regroup and download the Zello app so that we could communicate. And, it was all done with purpose. Absolutely.
That was nice to have everybody on the Zello app so we could
That was fun.
play weird
Make
music.
fun of each other.
Yeah.
So,
Actually,
so Robbie could play Britney Spears songs to us.
I did that.
It's true.
A
It
lot.
happened.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So we started in Altoona, went to Colo, had a bite to eat, but I think the journey up there we definitely had a good time.
Yeah.
If anybody's doing like a caravan type of thing, they should definitely download that Zello app.
It's so good. I use it at work literally every day.
It turns your really expensive cell phone into a walkie-talkie.
Right. It takes it back like 10 years to back when Nextel was a thing and they had push to talk. Yeah.
But it's better.
But
It's
we've
way better.
We've made full circle back to that. But so the 4 guys, me and the 3 guys I work with, we all have that. We talk to each other all the time through it. It's so good. So useful. Because they won't buy us walkie-talkies because they're too expensive and we don't need them. That's what they tell me anyway.
That's what you got these fancy phones for.
Well, that's fine. That's what I'm using.
So what did it take? Probably about an hour and a half to get up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little meandering.
Yeah,
or
the
stop.
goal was the Google time said hour 10. So, I think those are probably roads that I was probably the only person who's ever really been on.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
I'd never been over there.
For Iowa,
Those are good roads.
They're as good as they get.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those were good
For
roads.
central Iowa, for sure.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I think so.
some cool little things back in there. as you're driving along.
Yep. You could see where people had made mistakes and then slammed on the brakes and
Yeah,
skidded.
that was
Oh, really?
a thing every once
Yeah,
in a
you
while.
saw it around that corner that you could see the
Oh,
semi
that
had
one
locked
corner.
up.
Yeah, there was a semi, one of those nasty, like you could see the bouncing tire thing on the
Right,
semi.
right.
You could see that. He was booking it, apparently.
Yep. Yeah, there's some tight turns, which is fun.
Yeah.
It's not, that's not a thing here, though.
No,
Like
it's
going,
not.
going
No.
around a corner slower than the speed limit is not a thing in Iowa.
No, you leave that. There's a reason you have a cruise control and a speed limit, and that's what you leave it at.
Yeah.
That,
Absolutely.
that corner happens to be in that. No, the
you
yellow
can
one that
probably
says
take it at 60. Let's be real.
yeah, the
here.
yellow one that says 40. No, that's for the pussies. We just keep going at 60.
That's technically
55.
Technically, that
55.
sign is for inclement weather.
That's true. Yeah, it's a suggestion if it's
Right.
yellow.
Right.
Or is it yellow?
Yeah, it's yellow.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, that's just a suggested one.
Right.
The limit is 55.
Right.
But so we don't know exactly what happened because you and I we weren't late, but we were on time.
We're on time.
In the John Mayer mobile, listening to John Mayer when we arrived in Altoona, which was great.
You guys made quite an entrance.
The funny thing
To
was,
me,
we
all-
hop in the car. I was like, no.
I was listening to John Mayer.
Are you messing with me right now?
No, I just gotten back from a guitar lesson. Working on Bold as Love. The theory behind it, Robbie.
I thought he was screwing with me, man.
I just learned that day that he does guitar lessons.
Oh yeah, you know.
No, I just not a. I mean,
You just
he's
thought-
an
you just thought he
enigma.
knew.
Well, yeah, I thought he knew how to play.
we
guitar.
can't. There's a lot to
Can't
learn.
improve without
I
a
also
coach.
didn't
lot to
realize
learn.
he actually like played a guitar. I thought they were just decorations at this point in his life.
Oh man, thought you.
He's
Charm
an
playing-
enigma.
charm-
man.
charming ladies.
Playing the guitar again.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the theory. Thank you.
Whatever.
It's not all about the ladies.
Everything we
It's
do is about the ladies.
It's about
5%.
expanding my mind.
That's why I read books for the ladies.
That doesn't
No,
make
it's
any
about-
sense.
it's about-
That's
it's about
you
expanding
need to
the mind.
look at that. You need to look at your game a little bit if that's your
Nah,
that's your plan.
because you
It's
bring
a
them
little-
downstairs.
Having-
Like, look at all these
Yeah,
books.
but that doesn't mean you have to read them. Just like you just hang
Oh.
guitars on the wall.
Oh, I read them.
Yeah, see, if you apply yourself to something, you're doing it for you.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn
If
it.
you're- if
you
you're-
see how my point kind of ruined
If you're
itself there?
looking like you're doing that,
Then
that's
it's
for the
for
love.
somebody
Yeah,
else.
what I do
Yeah.
is I take them and I go to coffee shops and I read these really big books.
But you put like fake glasses on with
no, I
with
have my
no-
real glasses. I
no
don't wear
lenses in 'em.
contacts on the
Robbie,
weekend.
Robbie shows up with a dictionary and he gets there like 15 minutes
just
early.
starts reading the
paging
dictionary.
through it. Oh, you're
Oh.
here.
Sorry, I didn't see you there. I was reading.
I
this,
actually-
this novel.
I actually had one of those moments.
No, you didn't.
Swear to God.
You
Swear to-
asshole.
swear
You
to-
did this. You are a bad person.
Time out.
You're a bad,
Time out.
bad human
Let me,
being.
let
No,
me,
sir.
Let me tell
There
the
is
story.
no fucking redemption.
No, I want to hear
is
it.
horrible.
No, let him redeem himself.
Time
I
out.
wanna
Time
hear
out.
it.
Time out.
This is gonna be great.
So, Elizabeth, the girl that gave us the sweet table.
This table girl.
She was-
Now,
right-
now I said her name.
Yeah.
Out there.
I've said her name like 100 times.
You haven't said her
Yes,
name on
I
this
have.
show.
They don't know her last name.
Hello.
Elizabeth's a very
Hello,
common.
She
Elizabeth.
was.
I know.
She was. Yeah. If she's listening,
Hi.
thanks for the
Hey,
table.
Elizabeth, thanks for the table. Sorry about this story that we're about to hear.
Actually, she has like nothing to do with it. She's the reason I was there. I think she was running like she was doing her marathon or like a half marathon or something. So I dropped her off at the start. And I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do for the next? I assume it was a full marathon. What am I supposed to do for the next 4 hours? So then I go to a coffee shop with Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace, which is like 4 inches thick, and it's a book that's
It's
so
a
difficult.
novel.
It's so difficult to read. I legit didn't finish it. I have to go back and try again. It's that challenging. But I'm
Isn't
that
it like
guy.
purposely written in such a way?
Yeah, if we can get to a book review, it's written like a thought, and every character, when it's that character's chapter, it's written like it's their thought. So like the super uneducated guy is just one long run-on sentence for like 30 fucking pages.
Wait, which book is this?
Infinite Jest.
Oh, by David Foster Wallace. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
similar. Yeah, because William Faulkner wrote Stream of Consciousness. I have not read that book, but I've read some Faulkner.
It's my brother's like favorite book, and he's read it a couple times, and I struggled so hard because it's a thought, or it's written like a thought, so it's fixated on like little silly details about the story of the what's going on in the room, and it's really hard to follow. And I
Stuff
tried.
that doesn't matter.
But I'm reading that book, and like if if there's a nerdy girl, it's
Now
like
you
knows,
look like an
they
intellectual.
Know, they know what that book is.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there drinking my coffee in the coffee shop, reading Infinite Jest, or struggling to read Infinite Jest in a public place. I'm just like, yeah, check out what I'm reading.
Were you showing it to people?
No, I'm like just reading it. But yeah, I'm sure I was looking like I was struggling through learning how to read. It was so hard.
Yeah, it backfired. You just look like
I look like a moron. Like,
Wait, did he just turn the wrong page? Did he turn back?
He's
a
going
page?
backwards.
it's not like that.
He's going
but-
backwards.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I've done that.
He went back to read that page again, didn't he? He doesn't even know what he's reading.
Once I read the same page like 4 times and felt like I got nothing out, I was like, I need to move on to a dumber book for my stupid
I
brain.
admit defeat.
Yep. I will go back and conquer that book eventually.
When Robbie the engineer says it's too much, I'm not going to start.
It's a hard book.
It doesn't sound like a thing I want to do.
It's challenging.
So anyway, I was listening to John Mayer, Where the Light Is, 2007.
Is that's
That's
pre Katy Perry? John
Pre-Katy
Mayer, then?
Perry.
Okay.
Still crazy. He goes on this rant in
Kind
the
of a
middle
douche
where he's talking
him,
about
apparently.
because he's talking about exploring and feeling love and like consciousness and all this shit he starts talking about in the middle, and it's all gibberish and it's great. There's literally a scene.
How high is
How
he?
high could I, or how could I not love John Mayer? There's a scene in the middle where he has a watch guy. If you're watching it on DVD, the watch guy comes in and he gets this roll
What do you mean
out.
watching it on DVD?
There's a DVD of this concert
Where do you have it?
somewhere.
Nice.
I have to find it. But he gets out the watch roll, John's watch roll.
During a concert?
Well, so it was a
can't-
concert
it's
in
a
3
breakaway.
parts. It
Oh,
was a
okay.
concert. No, it was a
I'm there.
concert in
I'm
3
there now.
parts.
Okay.
So one part's acoustic, the second part is the trio, the blues trio, and then the last part's the full band with the brass and all that stuff. So in the middle, he's taking breaks. He takes 2 breaks. In the middle, douchey move, I admit, to change watches in the middle. But he comes in, the guy comes out, and he's got like slick back hair. He's wearing a suit, chest
he
hair.
does.
He looks like he's like a porn star kind of guy. Like comes out, and he rolls the watches
Down
out.
Under.
And John goes,
Yeah, that's his second.
what should I wear for the trio? And the guy's looking at him, yes, yes. And, you know, I probably pick some IWC or some shit like that. Real douchey move. But I remember it. It's hilarious. And then the rest of it is like John Mayer talking about, like, philosophically how he feels about music. And he's driving around in this Mercedes S-Class with this 5-pound dog. Just literally just the epitome of douching around. Love it. It's great. So anyway, I listened
So
to
it'd
this
be
album
like you
multiple-
driving around with Ollie in the Genesis,
no,
basically?
like a smaller dog in a way more expensive car with a way more expensive watch. It's just scale. It's just a difference in scale. So anyway, that's what I was listening to.
So that's how we showed up to the event.
You guys made an arrival, too. You parked in 3 parking spots.
Maybe.
Like Michael steps out, kind of flicks his wrist, and wants to make sure that we all see that he's wearing a watch.
Yeah.
mean, that all happened.
I did the same thing, but I was on the far side of the car, so
Yeah,
no one could
that's
see my
fair.
watch until
That's
I showed
fair.
them.
Oh, you showed him too.
Well, I was gonna do. Well, you
That
asked about it. I was gonna.
6-pound dead weight you carry on
not
your
dead weight.
wrist.
It's just solid tungsten. The whole thing. It's kind of heavy.
So when Booney rolls up in his Mini Cooper, Booney and Max and Booney's son in the back seat, he rolls up.
Strummer, which is the best name ever.
Yeah, he's super cool. He's way cooler than us.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I know. It doesn't take
it's
much.
not an accomplishment. He rolls up and he pulls right up next to me, and Booney like kind of sticks his hand up over the edge of the windowsill, and he's putting on like
MMA gloves.
like MMA gloves. As he's doing it, he's like, "How's it going, man?" It's fine. I'm all right.
For now.
Max, I guess, asked him like, "Are you bringing a pair for Adam?" No, he's on his own.
Did he at least slap you with them?
Nah,
Oh, damn it.
I don't even think he got out of the car with him on.
Shoot.
He's biding his time. Just wait.
He's waiting for
It's
the
coming.
right time.
It's
Yep.
fine.
You just,
Booney and I are tight.
you just keep poking the bear until the bear finally says, "You know what? I'm biting."
Booney's like 7 feet tall, too, so,
That's a lot of man to put in a Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
He's a tall guy,
it makes more sense for him to drive the extended wheelbase
which
Jag.
he told me is probably on its way to out to pasture.
I know, he's getting a 3 Series.
Yeah, I think the BMW or
Mini Cooper?
the Jaguar's starting to
Oh.
show its age and
shoot.
be stereotypical.
It is quite old, though, and it has like 1 billion miles on
Right,
it.
but I told him he needs to get a 7 Series or something because 3 Series didn't come in extended a wheelbase, and I really feel like he needs that
No, I think he wants to do
part
like
of the look.
not track day shit with it, but I think he wants
I know
to.
what he wants to do, but that's not what I want him to do.
I know. He should get the Bangle 7 Series is what you should get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if I didn't care, that's what I would get.
Well, because if he gets a 7 Series, he can still get a V12.
Yes, fair point. The Bangle Had a V12.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I support this.
Or get an 850 or 860 or
CSI,
850. Yeah, one of the two.
I think it's 850.
Because there's an 840.
Because I have such an overwhelming abundance of BMW knowledge.
You know what I saw today and yesterday was an E92 335i,
Okay.
and I was like, So that's the current status of my life. I'm just letting people know. It was a coupe.
Oh man,
Coming here every week is,
it's a new adventure.
yeah, it's a dice roll.
I did. I looked. I was like, that's nice. I like that.
But what would you do with it?
I get
I have no idea.
Would you drift it?
No, I'd probably get an APR tune and then I don't
Blow it
know,
up.
blow it up.
But like, would that that wouldn't replace the Genesis?
No. You know what I did see the other day was and it was at Willis, Mercedes, was like a 2006 CLK 55 AMG,
Okay.
and it was 11 grand.
Oh,
And I had a real moment of, am I buying this car?
Wait a
I
minute.
had a real
Wait
panic
minute.
moment of like, that's not very much money. I am uncomfortable. And then I didn't buy it.
But there's a
thankfully.
reason it's not that much money.
Yes, that was the initial thought was, you should buy that. And then I went, that looks like a nightmare. I don't know
Why is
that
it
I
so
want
cheap?
any part of that.
It's dangerous.
it's a trap.
What motor
It's
is
a trap
that
car.
then?
It's is it the 5-liter V8?
Is it naturally aspirated still?
Yeah,
Is a
it's
55
naturally.
AMG?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
What I really want is the E55 AMG, which was supercharged,
Okay.
because that thing makes a whole shitload of horsepower and it's crazy and all that
Like
nonsense.
a million years ago, before I bought the TT and I was trying to decide what I wanted to buy, I looked at a little SL Roadster of some kind that had a V10 or 12 in it.
Okay.
I want to say it was probably 90s or early 2000s era, if I had to guess. I don't remember anymore. But I looked at it and decided not to drive it.
That was probably a good call.
It wasn't automatic, which was kind of a buzzkill for me at the time.
Right.
So it's the 5.4 not supercharged.
Okay.
The E55 was the 5.4 with the supercharger. It made 1 billion horsepower and is literally like driving around in an atom bomb.
1 billion plus 1 torque.
Yeah, you're just waiting for the day that it explodes and ruins your life. Which is not a problem with the Porsche if you get the bearing fixed. Which is why the Porsche
hearing
makes more
people-
sense. And
I
then
keep hearing people say that, like, statistically, that bearing is a pretty small number and that it's really not as big a deal as people make it out to be.
that's probably fair.
I'd still want to get the
Yeah,
one
just-
that's
I would
fixed.
feel better to have the fixed
But like
one, yes.
apparently the percentage of failure is really low.
Yeah, I think that is the case.
It just kind of got
blown out of proportion.
out, yeah, blown
because it's
out.
an expensive car.
right.
And it's a pretty major failure when it does happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were talking about this cruise
Yeah.
to Colo,
Yeah.
but
Hung out in like some antique gas station.
we hung out in an antique gas station. Saw some.
Strummer didn't know what a regular hang on the wall phone it was.
No, I knew what the phone was.
You
I
knew
didn't
what it
know what
was.
the cash register was.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, the push button, like manual
Which was super rad.
cash register.
Stuff in there's really cool. I
Yeah,
like looking at
and-
like
and-
old road maps of states and stuff like that. Seeing towns that don't exist on them and roads that aren't like,
there anymore.
don't run that way or aren't there anymore or whatever. That stuff's interesting to me
No, I get that.
as time changes.
As you get older, that's the word you're looking for.
Well, no, I think it's cool to see that, you know, what's changed as time has gone on. Like, because that map was like in the 60s. It's not even really,
not.
in the grand scheme of things, that long ago. But there's entire towns on that map that don't exist.
Right.
And that's just crazy to me.
God, we sound so old right now.
It's got nothing
Talk
to do
about
with age.
Cool antique things that
It's
are.
got nothing to do. I'm just fascinated by the fact that we can move on from, we can go from this is a town that people live in, this is a settlement, to like
Gone.
farmland in 50 years.
Oh yeah, or the vice versa. Where
Right.
It's nothing. Then all of a sudden,
Right.
these two towns are now one town.
Yeah. It's just interesting to me, the march of time.
You know, they flooded a whole bunch of towns for Lake of the Ozarks.
Uh huh.
There's a whole bunch of towns
That's
down
all
there.
man.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was man-made. I would
Yeah.
assume that was natural.
No.
just the dam. Just
Interesting.
dammed it up.
Word on the street is that they may be draining Saylorville.
How draining?
In the next couple of years. I don't know.
Really?
But I'd be interested to see it if they drain it like way down, just because I want to know what the bottom of that lake looks like.
I don't know.
Might be kind of cool. Who knows what's down there?
Lots of boats.
People's boats and shit.
So I ate Adam's food. Right, I didn't ask for the keto menu. I didn't
was a
do any
little-
of that stuff. I ate the whatever it was that I ate.
I will openly admit that I messed up a little bit because I thought that it was just full menu all the time. Apparently, the real choice items come after 4 p.m. And if I'd have known that, I would have
Pushed it back a little bit.
maybe tried to plan that a little differently.
That would have been nice for the Cyclone fans that were watching the game on their phone.
Yeah, because then Robbie wouldn't have been woo-girling in the middle of our meal, which
beat-
would have been nice.
They won. I don't care.
That's fair.
It's basketball season, you know.
No,
Yeah.
well, you did.
You should have been aware of that.
My bad. I'll try not to schedule it on a soccer game next time.
Yeah, don't do that either. I don't want to miss those soccer games.
They have a lot of those, don't they?
Yeah.
Didn't we just finish the World Series of soccer?
Yeah. Man, I piss off a lot of people at work with those jokes. Is it the playoffs still? Bro, don't even right now. You-
Sorry.
But I ate the food. Robbie had some cheese balls.
I had a lot
Mooney
of
had
food.
some cheese balls.
I had more food than
Robbie
anybody.
had pie.
Robbie had pie and potato salad.
I had a steak sandwich, potato salad, an order of cheese balls to myself, and then a whole slice of pie.
I think it was Jeff that got the open-faced
Oh, he won.
Beef?
He ordered the right thing.
hot beef sandwich.
Yeah,
Yes,
his
with
was-
the mashed potatoes and
With
the
mashed
gravy.
potatoes. Yeah, we
Yep, he won.
all messed up.
Yeah.
because that
was the thing to order.
Super good.
That was some hometown cooking there.
Also, that Cobalt that he has, that little black Cobalt
Mm-hmm.
SS. Apparently, that's big turbo. Makes 435.
No shit.
Should
to
have
the wheel.
had him run me down the road.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's down there next to
We're
the
going to
gym.
have a great picture of it.
Yeah, he's got just black Cobalt SS. But yeah, apparently that's a real treat to
Real
drive.
deal?
Yeah, I can see that.
He was trying to indoctrinate me. So
That's awesome.
I don't know. I think that's it. I mean, it was
a
cool
lot
to
of fun.
get to meet some people. It was cool that people
it was
wanted
cool.
to participate.
Yeah, that people I'd never actually met before.
Yeah.
That-
I see him on
Correct,
like,
showed up.
yeah,
Seen him on the group.
Facebook,
Yeah,
Instagram,
like we've
stuff
interacted
like
with
that.
them quite a bit, but I've never met them face to face, and they came and entertained my silly, stupid idea.
I
So,
think we should commit to doing something at MB2, the go-karting thing.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I can commit to something like that.
Even if we just all show up. At the
Yeah,
same
like
time.
that's
that's
exactly
just
what we should do.
unofficially, just everybody
Yep.
show
Like
up
on a
that.
weeknight because they're a lot busy.
Yeah, don't
on
do it
Yeah,
on the
weeknights, and
weekend.
they're
do it on
cheaper.
2 hour
Tuesday
late
or
on
something.
weekends.
Right.
But yeah, people want to do that. We should for sure do that. And I think, like I said there, if people have ideas about things that they want to do that are kind of community minded, we could do charity stuff, but just kind of more thinking like this
Getting
is
to
a
hang out
cool
and
thing
do
to do.
stuff.
Yeah. Instead of, like I said, going to the Sonic and just posting up and then somebody doing burnouts and us all getting kicked out. Like,
Right.
let's do something cool that
Let's go places.
Is-
that
is-
experience
Builds
things.
the community
builds the community.
around
That was my
what
point.
we're doing here.
I'll even say this because we have pockets of people who kind of, across the country where we have more listeners in certain areas. If you're doing something like that and you want us to talk about it a little bit, let me know because I'd be more than happy to help
Promote.
try and promote that if there's a small thing you're doing too.
I think we can all do a better job of supporting the car community in a positive way. Right? That's
Yes.
fair to say?
Man, that's deep.
Yeah, man.
I think we have a real problem in Central
I
Iowa.
couldn't. Well, I don't even know that you could. I think you could just stop it. We have a real problem.
Fair. But I think, yeah.
We
should
see it here because we live here,
Yes.
but I'm sure that every place experiences the same or similar problems.
Yes. And the only way to fix it is to have like-minded people that care about the culture and bringing people in and setting a good example, and that's the only way you can fix that stuff.
I always see like on the Sonic thing that you were talking about, someone will do something stupid and then they'll post about it on whatever local group, and then they'll always be, that half dozen people or 10 people or whatever that number is. They're like, this is why I don't go do anything anymore because I can't handle this stuff. I'm like, but sitting at home's not making it any better either.
Nope.
So
We talked about potentially doing a drive-in movie. I don't know
be
what
cool.
that would
That'd be
take
fun.
if we could get that done.
there's a car museum about an hour north of here that I think would be fun to go and crash. Not physically.
No.
I think if you get enough people for the Speedway Museum, won't they open it on a weekend day? Did I make that up?
No, I don't know what the group size is. I would venture to bet that it's not so much the group size as how much you're willing to pay for it. It's probably the same amount of money, whether that's a group of 3 or a group of 50.
Okay.
I just
I
don't
wonder
know
what that would cost. That would totally be worth it. That was awesome.
I want to go back.
I want to go back really badly because we didn't know what we were,
There's so much stuff in there.
and we didn't know
Oh
what we
my
were
God.
getting into. We did not prepare ourselves mentally for what we were about to.
We will be back there.
Yeah, we should do that for sure.
That'd be a good
That
one.
was cool.
I wonder if Polaris would do a tour for us.
I bet you they would.
think they do.
Polaris and Indian.
Yep.
Yep,
I think
that'd be a good
I
one.
think they do those.
So anyway, I don't know. I want people to think about what they would like to do, and then let us know
Absolutely.
on the group. If you're not on the group, you should join the group. 1010s Podcast group. You can like the page.
It's
That
pretty
always helps.
creatively
But
named.
come into the group and be part of the community. So that's all I have on that. Does anybody else have anything else?
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thanks
to the people
everybody.
that showed up.
Seriously.
It's a lot of fun.
It's humbling for me, especially because it was kind of my idea. And I think that might be the first time I've ever actually planned something and, seen it through to fruition in that way.
Yeah.
So it was cool to me, even though, it was just 10 of us, but like that was the right size for that.
Yeah, we can.
It was good to just get people.
Yeah.
A good group of us out.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Made everybody hug me.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
They're all trying to shake my hand. I
We were
wasn't having any of that.
we were talking about how funny it would be to form a single file line when you showed up and then just give you hugs.
Yeah, they tried to do that with shake my hand. I wasn't having it.
Yeah, I know. That's because no one followed through on the plan. Me included. I mean, I'm not singling anybody. I didn't either.
No, you didn't. You didn't even shake my hand.
I don't know that I don't feel like I need to shake your hand every time I
I don't
see
want
you.
to now. Not with that attitude.
I need to hug you every time I see you is really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
I am uncomfortable.
That's all it takes.
That's what we were going for.
FactorFabrication.com. We got a picture of Robbie's house up here. You can take a look at this.
Damn, that's a hell
That's
of
a nice deck
Robbie.
that Booney built for you there, Robbie.
My deck's longer.
I would.
That's what they all say.
Robbie's deck is more square footage than my house.
This one's taller, but mine's longer.
Yep. Some iteration of that, yes.
Yep.
FactorFabrication.com. It was good to hang out with Max, too.
Definitely.
Is that a deck measuring contest then?
I'm not here
I think
to
that's
measure
exactly what it is. Robbie's in a deck measuring war with himself.
Sorry, it was too easy. It was
no,
low hanging fruit.
I get it. I get it.
Shall we move on to some news?
Let's do it.
The best car commercial ever was banned in the UK for encouraging dangerous driving.
Do you not think that was great?
It was a fantastic commercial,
Right?
including quoting poetry.
Yes.
It was intellectual. It was fantastically shot and edited.
Yes.
It conveyed emotion.
It was
My-
good.
like,
Acting
my-
was well done.
It was well acted.
My animal.
animalistic instinct.
Got
Yeah.
that little bit
Yeah.
of tension, that little bit of excitement going.
And I think everyone can relate to a shitty day at work because that's what it was centered around.
Yeah.
I watched this and I was like, this is going to speak to Robbie.
Oh,
Do you
a bunch of corporate people sitting there just going, breaking their pencil, like, just get me in my car. Well,
Yep, I
thought
watched the whole time thinking about Robbie.
I was thinking, it's just weird because he's like, I was thinking about you. Well, I was thinking about you. Because I remember you talked about how you love having a manual transmission because
Yeah.
after a long day of work,
Just go
it's
out there
fun to
and
just
slam
bang,
some gears.
Yeah, bang gears.
Absolutely.
I wasn't thinking about you, Michael. I'm sorry.
Good. Got my Genesis. I turned my heated seat on my steering wheel.
Just relaxed.
Relaxed.
No,
Turn on a little,
no.
John Mayer.
little John Mayer.
I go the
Where
other
the
end.
light
Of
is.
the, other end
Bold
of the
as love.
spectrum.
Are you kidding me?
No. I need some like metal.
Robbie's out there like,
I need to be screamed at.
He's got Butcher Babies turned up to 11 and he's just slamming gears on the way out.
That's what I would like to do, but
That's not what I do.
I got the heated seat and the
Yeah, just
but I also have to be screamed at.
pull
I
up the
can't listen
traffic
to this thing they call
report and tells me some wood stuff. That's what I do.
Jesus,
try to
you live
make
a
it
life,
comfortable.
man. It's. I've never looked at a traffic report in my life.
It tells me on the thing
I know
when I
it
get in the
does.
car. It says this road has got traffic on it.
Yeah,
It does. It's got a
updated.
thing. You press it says click it. It says there's an accident.
Jesus, live like
Yeah, it's connected. His whole thing. It's ridiculous. It got all mad at us on the way home though from the cruise because it didn't think there was a road there, and then it was like
Somebody
no.
changed the road.
Yeah, you gotta
I have to have a word with my service advisor about updating my maps. I don't even remember what road that was.
Did you guys take 65 back?
Yeah, it was 65.
So it's where 65 meets up with 330. There, that's like actively changing as we speak.
Yes.
That intersection is being turned into something different.
Well, words will be had.
Actually, that intersection is one of the intersections I ranted and raved about many moons ago in an opener.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yep.
It
that's
is.
that's the deadliest intersection in the state.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
I think that's changed with the new
I don't know if is the on ramp open now.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why it
Yeah,
was all
see, I
mad.
haven't been out there in a while, so
Yep. But yeah, so the UK banned this commercial because it promoted angry driving.
you remember
Didn't show any
what
angry
small number of people complained?
12.
12 people.
driving. Complained?
Yeah, and that's what got it taken down.
That's not enough.
12 people.
Like 12,
There's not even any
12,000
fast
maybe.
driving in the commercial.
No, there's not.
It's
They
Or
rev-
aggressive driving.
They
Spirited
revved the
at
motor
best.
a couple of times.
Barely.
Barely.
yeah, hardly.
Yeah. I'll share the video somewhere, probably the group.
I think they said that the top speed during filming was like 24.
Wow.
So,
Dangerous.
yeah.
But I mean, at least I'll say that the UK is pretty consistent because this is like the 6th major manufacturer to have a commercial ban for dangerous driving, like Fiat,
Can't roll my eyes hard enough at that.
BMW. God, I can't think of the other ones now. I had them all listed out earlier, but it doesn't matter. Fiat.
Why do people suck?
Right?
Wait.
Like,
Why?
Who cares?
Yeah, why do you fucking care?
Why does
how
anybody care about
miserable, how much of like a sniveling little rat are you? That this bothers you.
Enough to complain to get them
complain.
to take it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. What sort of miserable existence do you have?
Why do you hate fun?
Right.
Why do you care what other people are doing?
I don't care what anybody's doing. I don't even care what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Clearly.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying light.
Do it.
That's what it
Dylan
said in
Thomas.
the
Dylan-
commercial.
Dylan Thomas.
So
with a
good.
big loud V8.
It wasn't even a V8. I think it was the 4-banger.
Nah, I think it's a V8.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it should be.
They're in the UK though.
The Europeans love the V8.
Yeah,
the
they can't
four-cylinder.
afford it though.
But
They
they, all
love
love, but they also love the 4-cylinder.
gas.
They
is
love turbocharged.
literally
4-cylinder.
$9 a gallon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we can't really complain about gas prices. We really should.
You have to be super rich, and the insurance on it is insane.
Ooh. Well, then they need to
the
be
way-
advertising.
The way they do the insurance in the UK is crazy.
Yeah,
It's out of control.
you can like write a car off several times.
Weird.
It's very
Like, you could buy a
expensive, too.
$5,000 car, and your insurance might be $5,000 a year.
Whoa.
Yeah,
But you have to have it.
Yeah, of course. That's just
shit's crazy.
strange. Yeah,
Yeah, it is strange.
It's strange that they ban such a silly commercial.
It is.
Right.
There's more important things to be working on in the world in general than this banning commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Don't they show like pornography on cable over
Yeah.
there? But then they ban this.
What's
I know
is
in
it? Page 10 girls?
France, I know they have like.
Well, no, they have nude women in like their newspaper.
Yeah.
What?
But they can. They this is too dangerous. This is too offensive.
Yes. McLaren has released Robbie's new dream car.
I'm really not into that car.
Really?
The carbon fiber, Robbie.
I love it. I think it's fantastic.
As an engineer, like I nerd out about
Yeah.
the aerodynamics,
Yeah.
the materials, just the engineering. Just as a car, I think it's ugly.
Oh, I think it looks fantastic.
I think it looks great as well.
See, I love what McLaren's doing right now.
Yeah.
Not from an aesthetic standpoint, but just like as an engineering exercise.
Design exercise.
The Senna looks
Because-
stupid.
Yeah, but
But-
the Senna was built for track times,
Right.
lap
Like
times.
how much downforce can we put on a road legal car?
Yep. So it's about how we can get the fastest lap time out of this car, and then this car, what is this called? The Speedtail.
Yeah.
It's designed to have the least amount of drag a car can have. It's designed like a teardrop. It is as aerodynamically efficient as possible.
I love the side profile and the back end of that car.
That's my least favorite part.
I love the inside.
The inside's really cool too.
the-
So it's center seating.
Yeah.
Again.
It's so weird to me, the center seating.
I want to drive. Like, I want to do both. I feel like you need to do both to really experience that.
Absolutely.
But I want to do that.
A 3-seater with the
Yeah, where you drive in the center.
yeah.
The only thing that I don't like about this car, and I understand why it's there. The front wheel cover things. For lack of a better eye, the Moon Eye hubcaps.
Yeah, they're ugly. But you're like a mono wheel guy, so I'm surprised you dislike that.
No, I like wheels to have things.
I don't even dislike it. I'm buying into all of this car.
It.
Nah, like visually, I don't like it, but yeah, I mean, it's.
I think it looks so cool from the side.
1,035 horsepower, 3,100 pounds, 0 to 186 in 12.8 seconds. Oh, that's what I was going to look up. Is
lightning fast.
What Koenigsegg claims they do there?
The Agera. Yeah, the Agera's faster.
Is it?
Yes.
Or Rug-Era. The Rug-Era.
What's it? Why even make a car?
I think the Agera is the one that holds the record right now. Like the official Guinness Book timed record.
Okay. Yeah.
Why?
Well, that's just, and the
why?
Agera is like $1 million less.
Why?
This is
This car-
All right, I hate it.
2.3.
I take it
I
all
think this
back.
car is like especially opulent though. It was designed as like a hyper GT car. So I think it's supposed to be like the pointy end of luxury for anything that McLaren's ever made.
I can see that.
They do make quite a few more of these than Koenigsegg will make.
How many are they making?
106, I think.
I assume Koenigsegg's like still in the 20s
Yeah, probably not many.
for all their cars, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, less than triple digits.
So-
0 to 400 kilometers an hour in 20 seconds
For the Agera,
for the Rug-Era.
for the Rug era.
And that only costs $1 million.
This hurts. 150 kph to 250 in 3 seconds.
That's crazy.
Oh, ouch.
Just shows how like savage that car is
You, like,
the
just-
whole time.
Face comes
Yeah,
off.
you feel your cheeks touching your ears.
And
So
this
good.
is the one with that whole constant speed, constant velocity.
Giant
Yeah.
torque converter thing.
Yeah. It's just it's why can nobody make this car?
Just copy that one.
An
Just make
Agera
it.
RS or a Rug-Era. Why can't regular manufacturers make this?
Word on the street is that they're going to release a new car in Geneva in 2019 too.
Yes.
I'm in 100%.
I've never seen it more than just like Christian's personal Rug era. I don't know that there's a lot of those out there or any.
I have no idea.
I think that's the one that I would have because of the crazy technology.
I still, every fiber of my being lusts after a 1-to-1
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, fair enough.
because race car. But
Yeah. Well, then the McLaren Speedtail, everyone thought they had to make such a big deal out of the flexible carbon fiber.
yeah,
Like other carbon fibers, not flexible.
right. It's just kind of cool because the
Damn it, Robbie. Jalopnik says that that's not a thing. It's not a fucking thing.
Well, everybody knows that carbon fiber is like super rigid all the time. No, it's not.
I know, I understand that. It's just cool the way they integrate. I mean, it's one
piece. It's
which
one-
is
And then they have
Pretty
the,
unique.
the active wing or the arrow or whatever you want to call
Right.
it, where it hydraulically lifts
and then
up the back.
apparently the color of the car is based on the titanium
That's
that's
infused in the
infused to
carbon.
the carbon fiber, and then you can have it anodized in any color you'd like, and you can have personalized words and graphics anodized into it.
For when your $2.3 million car isn't expensive enough.
So you can get sick Ricer tribal graphics,
Oh, God.
Yes.
Nah, man.
like, anodized into your carbon titanium weave.
Okay, so I can't find. I'm looking at the 1-to-1 now.
Okay.
So 0
The
to
1-to-1
400
is not as fast as just a regular Agera RS in a straight line because it's so draggy because of its downforce capabilities.
okay.
So the Agera RS is currently the one I think that holds the 0 to 400 record, and that's the one that they just a while back set the new top speed record with, like 180
Yeah.
something change, whatever that number was.
The 278.
Or yeah,
274.
sorry, two. I thought it was in the 280s. Maybe they tickled 280 on one
Yeah.
of their practice runs.
Well,
Well, they
yeah,
didn't do
'cause-
it in both directions.
Yeah, I think
so
that's
that
why I think it's
doesn't count.
278.
It's too.
If I-
It's fast.
it's
stupid
fast,
fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so
On a public road.
They're not fastest car.
Right.
It will do 0 to 400 kph, which is 249 miles an hour in 20 seconds. It's so fast. Why is it that fast?
Just put wings on it. Just let it take off.
That's
They have
insane.
wings on it. They just need to flip them around.
Oh,
They turn them upside down.
Yeah. It's
Crazy.
absolutely nuts.
Don't bother making a hypercar unless it's faster than that.
So yeah, a $2 million McLaren, or I assume this is what slightly above $1 million, or
No, there might be.
think
They're probably $2 million now.
Are they $2 million now?
I think that they're similarly priced.
He could charge whatever.
Well, I know, but
he
I don't
wants.
remember them ever being $2 million.
I think that they're in there.
Are they?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but I didn't think they were.
Order form. Where is it?
I don't think there is. I think you call.
You have to have his number. You have to
Yeah.
know someone
Yeah,
who knows
you gotta know a
Christian.
guy.
Yeah, the
have
1-to-1.
his
The
number.
1-to-1's 1.5. So yeah, they are a little higher than I thought.
That's still cheaper though, like
Oh,
substantially.
yeah, $500,000.
I find that insane.
Yeah.
The Agera is 2.1. Okay, so they are more expensive than I thought.
The Agera or the Rugera?
Agera.
The Agera.
Gira.
What's-
2.1.
What was the Rugera?
Probably more.
I don't have that.
I bet that car's more because that car's more luxurious.
Does
It's
that even-
more
yeah,
focused on being like a comfortable street car, and it's got more special technology in it.
1.9 million.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Less.
That's
But
a
see, I
steal.
I think that's the one I'd have. After watching him drive that one around and
yeah.
On Jay
watching
Leno's
it.
show.
No, he.
Oh, okay.
Somebody came out
Somebody
to
else.
the factory and he kind of drove a prototype car around.
There's a whole Jay Leno's garage with him driving the Regera. Him and Christian and Jay just like cruising around. Cars.
What's the point of having a Chiron? It goes from 0 to the same speed.
The Chiron is literally slower than its predecessor.
32 seconds.
Yeah.
You could walk
That's
to
a
240 miles.
lifetime.
The
Yeah, it's
Agera
totally
will
that
have
thing.
gotten to that speed
And then
stopped
stopped.
before it hits that. What a waste of time.
And that's
Volkswagen has billions
and it's more
billions
money.
It's
and
yeah,
billions
it's more expensive.
and billions of dollars, and they made a car that's way slower.
It's also slower than the Veyron. They can't get it to go
Waste
faster than the car
my
that they built before
time.
hand.
Waste of time.
The Chiron's a joke from start to finish.
It is. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's for people who couldn't get on the list to get a Koenigsegg.
Stupid looking car.
That's the only reason you buy the McLaren too.
yeah,
Because
because there's
you
a
called-
couple available.
You called Christian and he said, "Yeah, we'll get you a car in 2027," and you went, "I guess I'll order the McLaren."
Yeah, probably.
But it doesn't. I
still think it's fantastic looking.
like it. I think it looks good.
Aesthetically,
It's slow.
it's better than the.
the Senna.
Well, yeah.
I'm not sure where you're going.
No, but I think it's aesthetically better than what Koenigsegg makes, which I also think are strikingly good looking cars.
I
it's not.
150,000% disagree. I don't know how you could say that.
This is not
Really?
better looking than a
You think that's
Koenigsegg.
not
no,
better?
No, the Koenigsegg I think is actually some of the best looking cars that you can buy. Straight
I don't
up.
disagree with that. They are, for sure.
How much are Pagani's?
Same-ish, 2 million, I think. Yeah.
I wouldn't buy one of those.
How do you?
Huayra.
Wait, why?
Hurraya? H-U-A.
There's
Price.
a Y in there.
There's a Y, R-Y
Oh,
or Y-R?
a bargain, sir.
Yeah.
At 1.4 million.
Yeah, they're way
wow.
cheaper.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I'd
Zonda.
save.
Give me-
I
what's
think
a
I'd,
Zonda?
I think I'd save my pennies and I'd save
A
my
used
dimes,
Zonda?
and I'd still buy one of those cars. instead.
1.4.
You can't get it anymore unless they've made
They're
the
probably-
87th special
They're
edition,
probably still making them though.
the
Let's be real here.
Tricolore or the whatever.
The Revolution.
Ooh, is it?
2-point-something million pounds.
Is it? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Pounds, you said?
Yeah, I
Oh, that's getting up
that was
in there
that was
now.
ultra special though.
Yeah, there's. Yeah, I don't.
Pagani Beverly used. Oh, hold on a second. You guys are going to lose
There
me
is
for a while.
there is a Pagani in Beverly Hills. I know.
It's kind of surprising.
They're cool, but they are not Koenigsegg cool.
Oh yeah, they are.
No,
You're wrong.
I have found some things. Okay, I'm at Pagani of Beverly Hills,
Okay.
and they have a Ferrari F12 TDF coupe,
okay.
the real crazy one,
Yep,
made
the
a billion
Tour de
horsepower.
France one.
Yep. It's a used lease option.
Oh, perfect.
Would you like to take a
Wait,
guess
so
at
I
what
have
it
to
costs
take
per
over
month?
somebody's lease?
No,
It's your lease.
it's a used car they own. They're going to lease it to you like it's a new car.
Oh,
Give me a guess on how much that's going to cost
Per month?
Per month.
$6,000.
You're low
I
by a
figured-
lot.
I figured I was way low.
double that.
Yes,
12.
$13,663 per month.
Hoofda.
For how long?
Oh, probably
A billion months.
2 years. If I
60?
had to guess.
Wow.
Ooh, you could lease a Veyron if you want one.
No.
10 grand a month
Well,
seems
that's a steal.
seems ridiculous. You want to know a real steal?
Well, I mean, compared to a TDF, that's a bargain.
McLaren 570S Coupe. You want to guess what the lease is on that? It's 2 years old.
Those are probably more reasonable. I'm gonna go
Much
with
more
like
reasonable.
It's like, yeah, I was gonna say
$8,000?
Yeah.
No, it's like $200,000 car.
Yeah.
So is a TDF.
No, TDF's like a $800,000
Yeah, I
car.
was gonna
Really?
say, I was gonna say it's like 1,000.
Yeah, you're pretty close. $1,800.
Yeah.
It's low enough that it makes you wonder.
No, it doesn't.
It's not.
Never
that,
mind. I take it back. That's still a lot of money.
No, it does not.
Okay.
It does not at all.
I take it back.
Jesus.
I mean, yes. If that's all you spent your money on, then yeah, totally.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's
If that
I
was
could
your
totally
life,
swing that if I had to.
Like if
No.
you didn't have, if you didn't,
no,
Yeah, yes.
it's possible.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
but then you're not counting insurance.
I know.
That's how they get you.
future, Michael.
If
That's
I
how they
still
get you.
lived at home and I didn't have a family and obligations,
Yeah,
then maybe.
But you're saying it's possible.
I'm saying it's a possibility. That's what I'm getting at.
For sure,
we
need
could
to
get
make
it-
sure I work all the overtime though.
Yeah, definitely. Multiple jobs. But
Or for the same price, which I wouldn't choose, you get a 2009 Ferrari Scud, which I know is a car that you like.
I do like the Scud.
GTF though.
Not for that much.
Oh, but it's a 2009, but for a mere $200 more a month, so $2,000.
See, this is how they get you at the store. They're like, well, if you're willing to spend $1,800, what's
A
200 more?
$2,000.
A 2014 458 Italia,
Oh.
and you have your choice.
Oh,
At
colors
two,
are like- what colors are
black and white. Black one has tan interior with yellow brake calipers, which is
oh no.
So white then.
really the white one has red interior. So you're gonna have to be that.
no.
guy.
Nope.
That's
So
the
black again.
That's why they're not sold.
Dude, there's nothing worse than a red interior.
Not on a white car. Oh my god, that's
Nope.
that's not
That's-
a good look.
Yeah, but that's all they came in. It was white cars with red interiors.
Red interiors and green cars. It's just they're not a thing for me.
Green cars is fine. The green interior, red interior, or even like that bright blue, like really shitty, like ricer blue.
I'll be honest. I would, if I was shopping in that ballpark, I would for at least a second have to consider ordering my Huracan in Ithaca green before settling on the orange.
Yes.
I would think about it at least.
I get that.
Which I mean is more than I think most people would assume I'd have done.
Yeah, no, we assume that that's last on the list.
Right? No, but
You'd get it in primer
mean,
before
but
you
that-
get it in green.
but that car in that color, I get it. I get it.
yeah.
Oh, I found a problem in this plan. I found a really nasty problem. Do you want to know how many miles you get?
Oh, like 12
Yeah, like
Yeah, it's
3,000.
2,000
a year.
a year.
That's not enough.
That's not enough.
I burn through that in like a
I was
weekend.
gonna say I think I do that in a month, just driving to work and back.
Yeah. That's too bad.
How many miles do I don't even know that.
You don't want to know.
No, probably not. I have a 90-mile round trip commute, and it sucks.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
How many days a year or month do you go to work? You think?
How many days of what?
How many days a month do you go to work?
21.
Shit.
21-ish.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Is
was
that
gonna say,
reasonable?
I was gonna say I
Yes.
just had. I did all this math the other
I could
day.
just do that in a month.
Oofta.
Good news. The global results of 2 6s and a 9 are in. They changed the name of the survey. They heard the podcast. They were inspired.
Yeah, we
they changed the name.
started a revolution of everyone doing.
I mean, some people think it's called the moral machine, but
I'm sure that they saw a slight uptake after we did our show in
5 or 6
results.
people probably.
at
for sure.
least.
So this is that MIT study that we go search back in the archives.
It's a-
40 something.
it's a great
Who knows?
episode.
It's 2 6s and a 9 is what it's called. I can't remember the number.
I'm going to find out because I want to know now.
It's like 40
I'm gonna
something.
listen
He's
to
going to
it.
look it up. But I think the
I'm gonna listen to it
takeaway
on my way home.
the takeaway from this that I want everybody to focus on is that
We're a terrible.
if you want to be like,
Group of
quality and
people.
everybody's the same and blah,
no.
blah, blah.
Nope.
Bullshit. When it
Nope.
comes to having cars run over people, there is definitely a hierarchy. And I just want people to kind of take a moment to absorb the fact that you're all prejudice, whether you
Turns-
like it or not.
turns out-
That is the big
Turns out
takeaway.
you
Yep.
place dogs above people.
Yeah.
Definitely above criminals.
So here's the order. I'll try to go through it kind of fast. Stroller, so baby.
Yep.
Girl, boy, small children.
This is from most to least important.
Right.
Most
this is-
important stroller.
Save this person is the
First.
top one. Run this person over is going to be the last person I say.
Okay.
But stroller, girl, boy, children, pregnant woman, here's where it goes sideways. Male doctor,
For the record, they're about equal, male and female.
female doctor, but male doctors before that. But then,
This is where it gets out of hand.
so female doctor, female athlete.
Episode 42, by the way.
Perfect.
So the 9.
Yep.
Right?
9.
The 9 is directly below doctor.
And here's where it gets really weird. Executive female,
So CEOs.
female CEOs, and then it goes back. Male
Powerful,
athlete,
independent women.
Yeah.
male athlete, executive male. The weird thing is, everybody talks about how shitty and the 1%, blah blah. Apparently, these people are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like these people.
Yeah, we'll
We need to save them.
Yeah.
Save the executives apparently, and the female athletes, and then here's where
Then it goes
it
male athlete.
so this changes. So after executive male, these are the people that you would
Kill.
yes, basically large
If you
woman.
fall in this category, sorry.
Sorry, man.
You've been marginalized. Large woman, large man.
And there's a big jump between large woman and large
Yes.
man.
So we
very
would
large
save large. We
women.
would kill large women less than we would kill large men.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, I mean,
Then we kill the homeless.
Yeah, this one's also weird. So then it goes, okay, so fat people, homeless people, then old man, old woman. So what people are saying is old people are more worthless than homeless people.
but not more worthless than criminals, apparently, because we haven't got to them yet.
Criminal is down below.
And then it goes,
And then it goes dog. So dog is above criminal because criminal's next, and then
Cat.
Cat. And that's it.
Damn it, I'm a cat person. Son of a bitch.
yeah, the cat
People care
is
about
like
dogs
all the
more
way
than
to the death.
But like, how many times have you you've been watching a movie with, your flavor of the week? And,
What's that supposed to
and
mean?
they-
Dropping the C word and then just
Just tossing me under the bus.
he's just
And
like, you know how we feel about women. Flavor of the week.
Jesus.
Whoa. Shithole countries.
You've changed, man. You've changed.
it was worth
We
it.
got us over here taking the high road. Flavor of the week,
please.
bros.
But
Dig yourself out of this hole.
They kill a dog, and they've killed 100 people in this war movie.
Yes.
Kill one dog, they lose it.
Yeah,
I think I voted a lot higher on dog, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
I still maintain that whoever the law is the law.
yeah.
And regardless of your physical or professional stature, if you're breaking the law, then the car should choose you over the occupant.
Yeah, and I think we kind of came to that conclusion. And I think that the results also kind of came to that conclusion. I mean, when it comes to the choice where you have to pick based on prejudice, and it kind of did set you up on that.
Yeah.
So by design, the moral machine kind of was immoral by making you be prejudiced. But I think if you in a scenario where you didn't get to be prejudiced, it was always by the law.
Right.
And I mean, that was our results, and it seems to kind of match what the general consensus would be.
Yeah, potentially if you had said, do you save if they'd taken gender out of it, you would have obviously gotten different results. But, it wasn't an option of, save the female doctor or save the male doctor. It was save this group of people with a female doctor and an athlete and a fat person, or, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or a group of old people.
Or a group of old people. Apparently you just mow down the old people.
Especially if there's a criminal and a dog and a cat.
If there's a criminal and a cat and some old people, those people got to go. I'm sorry.
Even if it's clear lane in front of you, you to go get
Just
them.
say, there's a criminal in there and a cat, so we got to take care of this group.
When one cat falls, 2 more rise. It'll be all right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's all fun. Nobody get too wound up.
We live in a wild world.
We do.
Study finds that all these safety features are very expensive to repair.
I'm shocked.
Turns out we try not to crash, or we try to introduce technology that doesn't allow us to crash, but we still do. And then it's really expensive to fix it.
Yeah, that's a lot of sensors, radars, whatever you want to put in there.
Right in the crash zones.
Yeah, it takes a $500 repair and quadruples it.
Yeah,
it's a
real
$2,000
quickly.
repair.
Real
fast.
Not true, Robbie. According to Jalopnik, it costs $34,000 to fix a Kia. So
That is such. They wrote that car off so many times.
I want
before
to
that.
see the state of this. Did they use the jaws of life to remove the person from the passenger compartment?
and they were trying to mold it back together after the
Yeah,
fact.
they had to for $34,000. There's no Kia on earth that is worth that.
well, I
right?
mean, they're worth that, but
No,
not,
they make the K9 100, which is based on the Genesis, which is like 50 grand.
Oh.
And the Stingers.
Is that the car that they fixed?
That's the car they're talking about, and the Stinger, which is 40 to 60 grand.
Yeah, I suppose. Brand new car, but yeah, you wouldn't.
But like you're not.
You'd write it off though and just
Yeah.
get a new one.
No, Jalopians were like, they rang up a $34,000 repair bill, and then I came to the next article and it said potentially it could cost $34,000 to fix Kia. I was like, oh, I see where this is
That was-
going.
that was the
and
estimate.
That was the estimate, and then they totaled it.
Right.
And that was as far as I got with that series of articles. I don't think there was ever actually a repair bill for $34,000
It was an
Kia.
estimate
No.
to the insurance company, and then they wrote the car off.
Bad journalism, Robbie. Exaggeration.
Hashtag real
carbon
journalism.
fiber doesn't flex, Robbie, because guess what? I have a piece of carbon fiber in my house, and it doesn't flex, so you're a fucking liar.
My Sieben carbon fiber hood does flex.
That thing flexes all over
Well,
the
you
place.
should
Really
return
does.
it.
No, it's
It's
good.
clearly defective.
No, it's good.
According to Jalopnik, it's a piece of shit.
I know. It should have been super
So
rigid.
is your Kia.
And your Kia sucks.
You know what? My Kia's just fine. Thank you.
Anyway, that's what annoyed me about this article.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad journalism.
Yeah, no shit. If you crash into, a fucking radar sensor, it's expensive. Congratulations, you moron.
Well, in general, all the cars are getting more expensive due to the technology and
Plus,
the requirements and all that shit.
Cars have crumple zones now, which they didn't have 30 years ago. So
That makes it even harder
you
to
ruin a
fix.
car.
Yes.
Like the point
But
of the
you
car
don't
is
die.
It's safer. It's
Yes.
You
Yeah.
don't die. I mean,
Right.
I'd rather write off the car than myself.
absolutely.
So,
But yeah, if you're gonna have to try to fix that, an area that's designed to
break.
give, it's gonna be expensive. If you got in an accident in like a 70s Chevelle, you're probably dead. But the car's
you
fine.
are the
Right.
You are the crumple zone.
All of the energy.
You've crumpled around
all
the
the
dash.
energy was transferred from the steering wheel to your face. That's what happened.
on your way through the windshield.
Right. Instead of it, crumpling the front and the nose and the bumper and then the fender and all that. No, all that energy went directly through the car, through the steering wheel, into your face.
Waves, people. Waves.
Yep.
Energy.
It's so rigid, like it's carbon fiber or something.
Yeah.
It's like the whole car is made of a giant piece of carbon fiber.
Not flexible.
Why do
at
they
all.
weigh so much?
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Carbon fiber is really heavy. Do you know that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, when it's not.
when it's so rigid.
While we're just-
Anything that's
while
not
we're just-
flexible, it's clearly heavy.
While we're just lying about materials.
You can't have things that are rigid and light. That
Aluminum
doesn't
has
even make any sense.
Aluminum has like a really high melting point too.
So I've heard. Right up there with lead.
Yep.
The drawback of it is it rusts really easily. So
It's right up there with plastic in that respect.
plastic's also a really poor material.
Use Corvette. Check for rust.
Yep. Rust free.
Rust.
Rust free Corvette. Rust free Saturn.
my carbon fiber monocoque McLaren, rust free.
Good.
That's worth some extra money,
That's
right?
good. Yeah, that's good news.
So when I go to Beverly Hills Pagani and I buy this 570S for $157,000.
Make sure to bring your Bondo magnet.
Oh yeah,
I will.
do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That works really well on carbon fiber.
You'll be under there with your extendable mirror checking for rust.
I don't
What do you think they would do if you showed up to a dealership like that and did all that same bullshit?
With that fucking 3M sun gun.
Here, I got my vacuum gauge. Can you fire this thing up?
Yeah.
I want to hook
I
into
wanna
one of those
check.
lines.
No, sir.
Get the fuck
Dude, you
out.
probably can't get to one of those lines because I know that those cars have like insane engine covers
Yeah, I would imagine you'd have to like.
and they're like
The whole
almost
back
literally
end.
designed to keep you from doing that.
I'd be asking them where the champagne is because if I'm buying a McLaren, like I want to, do the
Wine
whole deal.
and dine me. Make
A
it
little
worth
bit of
my
cheese,
time.
perhaps.
They don't really do that. At the Lamborghini of Newport,
They didn't do it for you, Robbie.
I didn't buy it, but the kids.
That's what I'm saying. When you go in, like if you buy the car, like it's got to be like a whole thing.
It wasn't though. The kids showed up and were just like, "I'll take that Lamborghini," and then they did the paperwork and he just drove it off like it was.
Well,
a
he
Kia.
did it wrong, man.
I mean, he
Yeah.
he just. Wow! And I was like, "Yeah, that's what you do."
No.
No, you got to do the whole deal. You gotta
Yeah, they
talk
didn't.
About
No,
it.
they.
Talk about the bond market and stuff and options and stuff, and then you go through. And
No.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I wasn't.
this
I
is-
wasn't there for the whole thing. I just.
Oh,
I just saw him
2007.
leave.
This is a great year for the. It was a really good year for grapes and
The worst
in
part
South
was he was-
France. And you do the whole thing and you talk about it, and then
They've got
that's
a wine cellar with a
That-
bunch of wine back there from like
what
the
you gotta-
years
yeah.
those cars were
Which is-
made.
which is true, and I'm sure that would have happened had the kid been older than 23. He was younger than me by like a lot.
Well, daddy's money goes far.
How do you
sometimes.
feel about that, Robbie?
It's kind of frustrating. Makes you feel like a failure.
Well, you could lease this McLaren for $2,000 a month. What's a 60-year loan on $160,000? or 60.
Just
month
go to
loan.
community
60
choice.
month.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think they're going to let you do a 60. This isn't.
I can mortgage this car. How dare you?
Yeah, can you mortgage a car? It's a collector item.
Now we're getting into the kind of payment plans I
Loan
can
amount.
actually look at here.
$160,000 interest rate. I don't know whether it's
For a car?
6. Well, for them to
I'd say go
yeah.
higher, go like 7 or 8.
Okay, go 7.
12.
$3,100 a month to buy it. No down payment.
Oh,
And it wasn't even 106. It was
Oh well,
159.
Robbie will trade in his 240.
Yeah.
for it.
That-
So
that-
you can take $5,000 off the top of that.
yeah. I was gonna say that's 1 month payment, right?
Okay, so
there.
let's say you put $10,000 down on it. It's $150,000. It's under $3,000 a month.
Oh, well,
you can't afford not to.
you're not counting insurance.
That's future Robbie's problem.
Just don't insure it.
That's what my second job's for. Just the insurance.
You do like one of the guys I used to work with when I was in college. He would get his car insured, get the insurance card, and then cancel his insurance.
Oh, fuck! That's not good.
That
Don't
is
do
called
that.
fraud.
Don't do that.
Every 6 months.
No.
That way, if he gets pulled over, he's got an insurance card that has a valid date on it.
Oof.
And then when he gets into a wreck,
He's fucked.
his life's over.
Just don't.
That's crazy. That gives me anxiety just thinking about it.
He also liked to drink and drive. I don't think he's probably
Ooh.
gone places with his life.
He's
a bad
He
dude.
might be dead.
I should look him up.
What? Find his obituary or his prison sentence?
I can't remember what his last name was either, so I couldn't even start to look it up.
That's scary. But there's a lot of those people out there, I bet.
More than you probably would want to know driving home tonight.
Great. And this is why I'm a hermit and I never go anywhere.
Yeah.
Real quick before we sign off, I just wanted to point out that I also think that the Rolling Stones suck. And a couple other ones. Fleetwood Mac is terrible.
What? Come on, dude. They've got some good songs.
If you like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, remove me from your friend list. Yes, thank you. The Red Hot Chili Peppers is the worst fucking popular band of all time.
I don't know about worst, but
I don't like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It's the same, like, bebop,
song.
dip, dap, dip, dap all the time, and it's obnoxious.
I like that we're just burning
But
bridges.
like, white guys like to listen to Californication and sing about pornography.
It's a terrible song.
Yeah, I'm all for that, but not that band.
That's the Red Hot Chili Peppers, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Shows how much I fucking know. No.
Terrible.
All right, that's fair. Are you done now?
Don't like The Who.
I'm good with that. I'm good with
I'm
that.
just going through a list here. Sorry.
We offended like
Bands I do like. A Day to Remember, Bring Me the Horizon, Slipknot.
Ooh, here's a ringer. I don't
Memphis
like
Mayfire.
I don't like Black Sabbath.
so. Like, do you have what's your guilty pleasure? I mean, besides boy bands, do you have a
And
guilty
Maroon
pleasure?
5.
Do you have a guilty pleasure band?
Right now, it's Post Malone. It's not really guilty pleasure. I know you hate him,
That's
but
too bad.
and then
See, I don't even know. I don't know that I've even heard one of his songs. Just can't get past how douchey he looks.
that's judgmental.
I
It
don't
is
like the way he
judgmental.
sounds. I don't like his sound.
I don't mind the way he
I don't
sounds.
like his
And
sound.
He's just.
oh gosh,
I don't think that we should like encourage people to look like they're homeless.
whatever.
Genesis sucks.
No one.
REM sucks.
I don't know that I like. I'm sure I
Hold
know an REM song, but I can't pull one off the top of my head.
It's just whining. It's just a bunch of whining.
That's probably true.
See, but I like country stuff too, though. So
That's
I
too
mean,
bad.
I'm all over the spectrum.
That's too
So
bad.
my opinion's super weird.
Ooh, Marilyn Manson's on this list. I'm surprised.
That you
Of, like
like?
the
What
100
list?
best rock bands.
I like
That's
Manson.
what you're doing.
I used to like him a lot more until I saw him in concert, and then that kind of went away.
Depeche Mode.
It's okay because he doesn't remember that concert either.
There's no way he remembers being in Des Moines.
I'm glad I went.
Yeah,
I don't need to go
Slipknot was
again.
good. Nope,
Slipknot was good.
I won't pay to see Manson again.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Good
I
thing
definitely
he
wouldn't pay
wasn't
for him to be the
opener. Or
headliner.
good thing he wasn't the headliner.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
No, I would have left. I'm like, yeah, I've had enough. This is a train wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toto sucks. That Africa song. You guys need to like stop.
That one's kind
That
of
needs to die.
But
I'll say that's my guilty pleasure one right now.
Really? Toto.
I shouldn't. But
There's a metal version of that. Is the only version that
metal,
anybody
metal
should listen
versions
to.
of pop songs are the best versions of pop songs.
Taylor Swift doesn't know. She writes a hell of a metal
She
song.
really does. Taylor Swift is a guilty pleasure. I'll say it.
I don't like Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, I'd pleasure her.
No, you wouldn't.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Are you kidding me?
You would.
I would let her write an album about me.
You would
for
disappoint
sure.
her.
Jesus. No, it wasn't.
sure.
It wasn't the fact that you said you would. It was
sure.
like it was the way that you said it was really fucked up.
Yeah, I'd pleasure her.
What mood are you in?
no,
this week? You're in a weird mood.
No, sir. You would not.
It's a
pleasure
lack
her.
of sleep.
You would let her
That's
down.
really what it is.
Oh, now that we've pissed off all our fans,
do it, man.
Head over to our store. We have new shirts.
Oh shit, we haven't even talked about those, have we?
Yeah, I made a shirt that represents being the number 2 drift podcast. I
And
took
the
it,
number one Porsche podcast.
and I took a shirt that had it's actually one of our pictures, so that's our modified picture to show a drifter, and then also the number 1 drift podcast or the Porsche podcast to represent that. So head over to our store, buy our shirts if you want. There's also new mugs and other shirts. It's Christmas time, boys and girls.
Hell yeah.
Huey Lewis in the news sucks. Dude, Slipknot's like 88 on this list. I don't know what the
What list are you looking
Huey
at? Get to
Lewis
out of
Business Insider.
Is that a rock band?
They're on this list.
I would have like thought.
Slipknot has
It
a
might
new-
just be bands, like
Yeah.
people playing guitar. Type
Slipknot
bands.
has a new album coming out next year,
I saw that.
and they're already the only concert announced for the Iowa State Fair. Slipknot at the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah.
That's a shit show. You have to see.
it's gonna be
You
a
have to.
mess.
I think tickets go on sale Friday.
and,
Aug-
and it will
November-
be
yeah.
sold out
November
by Saturday
2nd.
morning.
The concert's in August of 2019. The tickets go on sale November 2nd.
And they're going to be sold out November 3rd.
Yes. Fuck yeah.
It's going to be a mess.
That's a band I would see again.
It's not on Eastsiders night, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, because that would people would die.
I think it's Saturday, and East
people
Saturday
would
night's
die
Friday.
for sure.
Anybody else you want to piss off before we end this?
I'm
show?
I'm almost through this list.
All right.
No, I don't think so. I think that
We're
was
done
it.
now?
There's some other ones in here that are kind of
I'm
marginal.
still really confused by Huey Lewis
in the news.
In the news.
I think it was real popular in the 90s, and then they just disappeared.
I like Hall & Oates.
Nobody cares.
I
That's fine, I
thought that
suppose.
Huey Lewis was like a 60s like jazz band of some sort.
I'd like to know why the Goo Goo Dolls are after Slipknot, meaning like a lower number.
No.
It's what it says.
No.
Like the Goo Goo Dolls are better?
Yeah, according to this list.
That's what I'm yeah.
No. Sorry.
The Goo Goo Dolls. It's a terrible name for a band.
You know what I really like? Like early 2000s, like punk rock.
Give me an example.
Like Harvey Danger or like Slipknot or not Slipknot. Sum 41.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Blink. Old Blink.
Blink. Yeah.
Before they went off the rails.
Yeah, that stuff.
I'm okay with that.
Ooh, Good Charlotte.
Charlotte.
I was big into Good Charlotte.
Simple Plan.
Not so much Simple Plan.
Bowling for Soup.
No, they kind of were annoying.
Yellow Card?
Yes.
Ah, there's a band we agree on, Robbie.
Story of the year.
Really? Yellow Card?
Yeah.
That's a real poppy garbage.
I didn't say it wasn't poppy garbage. I said I liked it.
Okay.
This
That's
is a
fine.
band we agree on, Robbie.
I've never once said that my opinions are great and that they're great musicians.
Oh, no.
I said I like them.
I don't know what good music, like good musicianry is. Like if I listen to a song, I won't know whether it's good or bad musically.
Yeah.
If I like it, I like it.
Yeah. I'm a trained jazz musician, which means my opinion is correct. So
Okay, Chaz.
we haven't disagreed on much other than Maroon 5.
I don't like Maroon.
That's the only one that we really disagreed on.
That's fair.
But people being pissed about whatever it was.
I don't even remember what specifically we really.
Beastie Boys triggered some people.
That's the one that triggered everybody. Yeah, just not.
Like I said, in my classically trained opinion, they suck.
Basically tried to.
I have no trained opinion. I just like what I like. So I listen to everything except for a handful of bands.
Fair enough. Is that it?
Yeah.
We almost made it 2 hours.
Yeah.
Catch you guys next week.